From pretty much the present, this is your host, Adam Graham, bringing you a week of old-time radio detective podcasts from 2012. Because these podcasts are many years old, any offers or information included in the podcast may not be valid unless they're currently reflected on our Great Detectives of Old Time Radio website at greatdetectives.net. Here now is a week of old-time radio detective podcast. Welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio from Boise, Idaho. This is your host, Adam Graham. If you have a comment, email it to me, box13@greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives and call me, 208-991-4783. Well, today's episode is brought to you by the financial support of our listeners. Thank you so much for all of your support. Now it's time to get into today's adventure of Frank Race. This one is called The Adventure of the Juvenile Passenger.
The Adventures of Frank Race, starring Tom Collins. The war changed many things, the face of the earth and the people on it. Before the war, Frank Race worked as an attorney, but he traded his law books for the cloak and dagger of the OSS. And when it was over, his former life was over, too. Adventure had become his business. The Adventures of Frank Race. Join Frank Race for The Adventure of the Juvenile Passenger.
The evening had been a turkey. Following a dull dinner, I'd been collared by my hostess, a woman with about as much depth as a wading pool. The conversation had been a 3-hour filibuster, with me effecting my escape only after a farewell scene that would have odorized any little theater in the land. So now I was settling into bed with a sigh of relief. The windows were open, the light was out. I could call it a... No. Yes?
Well, about time you got home. Where you been?
Well, let's not talk about that. What do you want?
I'll be parking a cab in front of your place in about 5 minutes. Will you come down?
For heaven's sakes, why?
I got trouble, Race. I need your help.
No, bring your trouble up here. I'm in bed.
That's just it. I can't. You gotta come down, Race. I need you.
All right. But make it 10 minutes. This had better be good.
So take a gander back there.
It's a girl.
Yeah. How old would you say she was?
14, possibly.
All right. She's 14 and riding around in my cab at 1 o'clock in the morning. She ain't got the dough to pay her fare, and she says she'll kill herself if I don't keep driving. That ain't a ladle of trouble I'll put in, which is...
It'll do. What's your name, dear?
I don't care to say.
How long she been riding with him, huh?
Since 11 o'clock.
How'd you happen to pick her up?
I didn't. I stepped into a cafe for a few minutes to lap up a cup of coffee. When I come out, there she is, already in the cab. I tried to head for a precinct house once, but she put the nix on it. She knows New York as well as I do.
Well, let's all go for a ride. Drive her on, Mark. I'll talk to her. You could tell me your first name. That wouldn't give anything away.
It's Mary.
Look, no use being mad at me. I'm a stranger.
I'm not mad.
Trouble at home?
I don't live at home.
Relatives?
I stay at an orphanage.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it except... Well, how would you like it if someone were trying to send you to jail?
Someone at the orphanage?
Just the head of it, that's all.
No one can send you to jail if you haven't done anything wrong.
She claims I steal things. I don't, but... What's the use? You won't believe me either.
I believe you. I'd like to help you.
You can't do anything. Nobody can do anything.
What are you supposed to have stolen?
Some jewelry.
You like jewelry?
Sure, I like it. All girls do. But I didn't take any, even if they did find it in my mattress.
Then tell them so. Well, let me take you back.
No.
You can't keep riding around in this cab all night.
Nobody wants to help me. Nobody.
I said I'll help you, and I will. Don't forget about going back to the orphanage. But you must have friends, someone with whom you can spend the night. Then, tomorrow...
I don't know anyone. Except Farrell Gillis.
I'm afraid a man won't do.
Oh, Ferris Gillis is a lady. She's swell. She came to the orphanage a couple of times and told me to come and see her anytime I wanted to.
You know where she lives?
We could find it in the phone book.
We found it in the phone book. An apartment hotel in the 60s, a place called the Wellington Arms. But the lady we sought seemed to be out. But we didn't exactly draw a blank. While we were still pushing the buzzer to her apartment on the second floor, the elevator clicked to a stop and 3 men got out. We drew their instant attention.
Looking for somebody?
It would have been the kid who takes your tickets at the theater. Skin was clear. He hadn't been shaving very long. He wore a bow tie and a pork pie hat, but his voice matched his eyes. His eyes had all the warmth of wet pebbles.
You heard me. You can turn off that look of inspection. I ain't liking it.
We came to see Farrell Gillis.
Who's the kid?
Her name's Mary.
Mary what?
What difference does it make?
It's all right. I'll tell him. It's Leonard. Mary Leonard.
Reads like an act to me. Vinny, you and Lou take him down to the car. Fogle might want to look at him. I'll go through the apartment.
You may as well all go through the apartment. The youngster and I are going down by ourselves.
What are you trying to do, act hard? I figure you ought to go downstairs with the boys. What do you want, a written invitation?
I just want to be understood, clearly. I have an automatic in my pocket. I'm gripping it. Take the elevator, Mary. Get onto the cab. Tell Marc I may be able to use him. Scoot.
All right.
You don't think you're going to make me stick, do you?
I'm willing to try. What's the matter, Vinny? Need a smoke? Keep your hands where they are. You can wait.
You know, I figure you do have an iron in that pocket.
Clever of you.
But I'm figuring something else, too. You didn't expect to run into us either.
Who'd want to?
So I'm betting the iron ain't loaded.
You go to a lot of trouble, don't you? Why don't you relax, boy? We're strangers. We've never seen each other before. If we just nod, go our respective ways, we'll both stay happy.
Now I'm sure you ain't got that gun loaded.
You had me. And here was a boy who plainly liked violence for its own sake. There's nothing left for me but the stairwell, so I vaulted the banister and got a decent fall.
Hey, what goes? I was just coming up.
Come in. Let's go.
Where to?
That's that orphanage. Just has taken up enough of our time tonight. There were cars parked in front of the orphanage. The lights still on inside. In the office, a sort of conference seemed to have taken place. But we got an instantaneous reaction from a woman of about 50. A woman whose face suggested that she wanted no fun out of life and resented anyone else trying for it.
Well, just where have you been, young lady?
Who's this man?
Mrs. Barkley. She's head matron.
Good evening, Mrs. Barkley.
Well?
My name's Race. I'm a private investigator. I'm acting on this young lady's behalf.
Gosh.
You are you? Well, I'll have you know.
Pardon me, Mrs. Barkley. Where did you find this girl, Mr. Reyes?
I have a friend who drives a taxi. Mary was one of his fares tonight. And she seemed upset, and he found it a problem. So he called on me.
I see.
I don't believe we've met.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Paul Westerhaven. This is Miss Doris Sanford. Possibly you know Winthrop Grable. Everyone does.
Paul Westerhaven. Plays polo the way Stan Musial plays baseball. Horses and money. Plenty of both. Doris Sanford I had never seen before. A definite loss on my part. She was lovely even under the glare of a light that gave Mrs. Barclay's face the look of a boiled potato. If you were any kind of a sharpshooter, Winthrop Grable was a name to flinch at. He scribed a hard-hitting newspaper column that went in for reform.
You might be interested to know, Race, that we're here because of this girl's disappearance.
She's utterly incorrigible. We've been able to do absolutely nothing with her.
You ever try being kind?
Well, it is somewhat of a problem, Race. This is the second time the girl has run off. We've been fortunate that no bad publicity has developed.
Where does Farrell Gillis fit into the picture?
Oh, that woman.
Who is Farrell Gillis?
Well, she's rather well known, Paul. Operates as a gambler.
As far as I'm concerned, she's a pretender and a liar.
Why do you have that opinion?
A month or so ago, Miss Gillis promised to donate the cost of a new building to the orphanage. She seemed quite enthusiastic at the time, but nothing came of it.
Well, if you don't mind, we're going to say goodnight. I'll come and see you tomorrow, Mary. We'll talk this over.
All right.
And if I've seemed abrupt, Mrs. Barclay, I apologize. I don't imagine your job is a breeze by any means.
Certainly isn't.
Next morning, I went back to the apartment hotel that housed Farrell Gillis. The manager, a pink-skinned man with a mouth that puckered as he talked, was still agog over the shot that had been fired the night before, but didn't connect me with it. When I mentioned Farrell Gillis, he puckered and shook his head.
No, she hasn't been here for a week. She often goes away like that, but never tells us where.
Know anyone else who might know where she is?
No one. She's a very strange woman. Gambles, you know.
How about her lawyer?
I don't believe she has one.
Know where she banks?
She doesn't. I know that for a fact. Everything in cash with Miss Gillis. It's an idiosyncrasy of hers. Always carries cash. It pays us in cash, pays everyone in cash. It must be a gambling instinct.
You're quite like that. Well, thanks.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Racer. Didn't you say you were an investigator?
Yes.
Well, I'm always willing to help investigators. Always.
The house in which Doris Sanford lived had the looks that spells lots of family background. The size that spells money. I was curious to know if Miss Sanford would appear as lovely by daylight as she had the night before. She did. Then some.
I can say one thing. You don't look as grim as you did last night.
Rough evening.
You care for a drink?
It was a little early. I'd rather wait. You have a charming house. Makes a nice frame for you.
You couldn't pay me a nicer compliment.
Oh, yes, I could. It was just a warm-up shot.
You know, you couldn't have looked grim last night.
Speaking of the orphanage, I've just come from there. I had a talk with a kid. He isn't very happy.
I know. We've got to do something for her.
How about that Barclay lady?
Oh, she's all right. She lost her sister last night, and they were very close. She's making a bit of an adjustment. She'll get over it.
She seems to be adjusting at the expense of that kid. How does a woman like Farrell Gillis tie in with the orphanage?
Well, it seems that she stayed there as a child. She comes in every once in a while for a visit.
Well, this building she was going to have to write. How much was it going to cost?
$50,000.
Nice bundle of money.
It is. You can see Mrs. Barclay's side of it. She was pretty excited at the prospect.
That drink you mentioned, couldn't we have it somewhere nice? And dinner to go with it?
Sounds as though it might be fun.
But you have another engagement.
I could break it. Couldn't I?
I like the way you say that.
Will you call for me?
With my hair combed and my face ashine.
All right, Ray. It's a date.
What have you been doing, shopping?
Oh, hello, Marc. I didn't know you were here.
Well, after last night, I thought you'd be home early, so I came up. What'd you buy?
A black felt hat for evening wear.
I thought you had one of them.
I do. But when I pulled it out today, I found a bullet hole in it.
Huh? Wonder where you got that. Hey, the guy called about 15 minutes ago. A fellow by the name of Tully.
Tully?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the manager of the Wellington Arms.
Yeah, that's the one. Said to tell you Farrell Gillis is back. Does that sound important?
Might be. I've still got a couple of free hours, Marc. Drive me over there, will you? the apartment slightly ajar, so I knocked. I thought I heard a voice say, "Come in," so I did. She was reclining on a divan, a woman of perhaps 60. She had a theatrical look. Skin was heavy with makeup, her hair tinted a flamboyant red. She was smiling at me, and the set of her features indicated that she was used to smiling. There was only one thing wrong with the picture. Someone had stabbed a knife into her chest. She was dead.
We'll return to the adventures of Frank Race in just about 1 minute. To the adventures of Frank Race.
Finding someone murdered always presents one serious problem. Should you notify the police? If you do, you're going to find yourself involved. If you don't, you may find yourself even more involved. But this time I didn't have to carry out my decision. Just as I picked up the phone, a voice spoke to me. In the same soft tones that had invited me into the room.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
He stepped out from behind a bookcase partition. And dapper serves as a one-word description. He'd been something from a style page in Esquire. He even had the leer to go with it. With him was Slate, the lad who had caused me to vault into the stairwell. The hood called Vinny was also along.
I'm Johnny Fogel. The lady is a friend of mine.
If we're going to discuss the lady, we may as well get into the past tense, don't you think?
Yeah, you see, Johnny, you're sugar cookie, like I told you. You ain't gonna get nowhere with him unless you raise a few lumps on him first.
Were you a friend of the lady?
To my knowledge, this is the first time I've ever laid eyes on her.
Maybe I should have said the lady was a partner of mine.
Yeah, I understand she was in an interesting business.
The most interesting business there is. A few weeks ago, she made a killing, a real big killing.
Yes?
I gave her the tip that clicked for her, so I sort of figure that now she's gone, Lord rest her soul, I'm straight in line to be the heir to what she left behind.
I suppose that's a logical pattern of reasoning for a person of your temperament.
Talk so Johnny can get what you mean.
Never mind, Slate. I get what he means. And I think he gets what I mean.
Let's not waste each other's time, Paul.
Don't reach for that phone, pal. You ain't gonna call nobody. Frisk him, Slate.
I wouldn't worry none, Johnny. He's got a gun, but it's never loaded. I'd take it just the same. Keep it for you, chum.
You see, Race? It's like this. You coming in here made it kind of embarrassing. A little embarrassing for us, more embarrassing for you. Because it ain't gonna be sensible for me to let you go walking out, is it?
You want something, Fogel. What is it?
Pharaoh's better than 50 grand.
And with the way every drawer in the apartment seems to have been so neatly emptied, I'd say you've been looking for it.
Pharaoh wouldn't have been keeping the dough here. She wasn't that kind.
I haven't the slightest idea what Pharaoh Gillis was like. You may as well know that I can't tell you a thing about her money.
That's the trouble with you guys. You always want to play a lone hand. Let's get him out of here, Slate.
Start moving, Race. And this time you ain't getting away with no phony moves.
As Slate pushed me past the door, Fogel lingered for a last look at Pharaoh Gillis, which meant that Slate and I started downstairs by ourselves. He insisted on walking right behind me, so after about 6 steps, I simply sat down in front of him. He instantly went over me and crashed on the landing below. I leaped after him, but there was only time to regain my pistol before Fogel appeared at the top of the stairs.
Drop that gun, Race.
I went the rest of the way on the run, past a gaping manager in the foyer, up to a gaping Mark Donovan at curbside.
Oh, not again. Every time you go in that place, you get chased out by bullets.
Get me home in a hurry, Mark. I'm due to pick up a most attractive girl in less than 30 minutes.
Candlelight. Wine. I might have known you'd do it this way, Ray.
I couldn't think of you in any other surroundings. Not at this time, anyway.
You're nice.
You're beautiful. Tell me something.
Ask it.
Each time I've seen you, you've worn black.
It's for my father. He died less than a year ago.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to be. You're observant. I like that. It's flattering. In fact, I seem to like everything about you, Ray.
What would you like to do after dinner?
Go home. The butler will have the fire going. I thought we could just talk.
The fire was going, as she'd promised. And for the first time in years, I munched freshly roasted popcorn dripping with butter.
I love this house, Ray. My father left me a fortune, but out of everything, I think I appreciate this house the most. This house and all the things that go with it. Look, these are some linens my mother received when she was married. Aren't they beautiful?
She looked unbelievably lovely in the firelight. She gracefully showed me the fabrics, then carefully folded them, placed them on a nearby table.
There. That's the last one. Now it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Take you in my arms.
You think that's going to be hard?
Might lead to complications. You know, you show signs of being a very domestic young lady.
Why don't you kiss me? You'll find I have other qualities, too.
I beg pardon, Mr. Graver will see you.
I'm just going to barge in, Doris. Oh, I didn't know you had company.
This is Mr. Race. You remember Winthrop? You met him last night.
Oh, yes, of course I remember. I came to see you about that youngster. She's been arrested, Doris.
Arrested? Mary Leonard?
Well, it seems that Mrs. Barkley made a report to the police about the missing jewelry.
Oh, no. We'll have to run down and get the child out.
Well, I'm afraid they don't grant bail on a murder charge.
Murder?
Murder?
One of the items the police recovered from the girl was a diamond earring. The mate to it was found today in the apartment of Pharaoh Gillis, along with Miss Gillis's body. So it seems that the orphanage has been harboring a juvenile murderess.
I saw Mary Leonard the next morning. She had no tears for me. She was terribly quiet, terribly white.
I told you no one could do anything for me. Didn't I, Mr. Ray?
No, I haven't been able to do much, have I, Mary? But I want you to know that I've got an idea about this affair. It's just an idea, and a pretty hazy one at that. But it might lead somewhere. I'll keep in touch with you. For the rest of the day, I had Marc out gathering information while I busied myself doing the same thing. We got together at 5 o'clock.
Hey, you know something? You were right about that Gillis thing. She flipped though around like nothing. And the moolah she give away, I should have known that lady.
Did you visit Mary Leonard?
Yeah, I saw the kid. Yeah, Ray, she's scared. She's really scared. They're going to have to let the newspapers in on a deal unless you turn up some.
It was about an hour later that I got a call from Doris Sanford.
Ray, can you come to see me right away? It's important.
Trouble?
Well, in a way. Nothing to do with the orphanage. But it does concern us.
Well, let me see. I'm expecting a report on something, but I know what I'll do. I'll call and tell them to get in touch with me at your place. I'll be right over.
It's Winthrop Grable, Race. He thinks he's in love with me. And he's become insanely jealous of you.
Can't help that, can we? After all, he's a big boy now.
But he can hurt you with that column of his.
There's a phone call from Mr. Racy.
I took it in the library. It was the report I'd been waiting for. When I got back to Doris, I found Winthrop Grable with her. He greeted me with a frigid nod. His face was flushed, and his eyes had a too bright look.
Was it the call you've been expecting, Race?
Yes. It seems that Pharaoh Gillis not only made a promise to give $50,000 to the orphanage, but she actually delivered the money.
What are you talking about?
Pharaoh Gillis always did everything with cash. And that's the way it was handed over. $50,000 in United States currency. I guess it was too much for the party who accepted it, because nothing was ever said about it. And that's why Farrell Gillis was murdered.
So where do we go from there?
To the fact that Farrell Gillis wasn't murdered just to keep her silent. Drawers and cupboards had been emptied in the apartment. She'd evidently obtained a receipt for the money, which the killer wanted, and got, I believe.
And I suppose you know all about the killer's identity, eh?
I do know.
Who did it, Race?
You did, darling. I got my lead on that from the way you folded those linens last night.
The way I folded the linen.
So carefully, so meticulously. The same way everything was handled in Farrell Gillis's apartment. You were disturbed before you could put the things back, but you left everything so neatly piled.
You're being ridiculous, Race. I just inherited a fortune from my father.
I know. But this afternoon I learned that it wasn't a very liquid fortune. Not much money. So inheritance taxes were going to cripple you. Make you sacrifice a big slice of your holdings. I think the courts will accept that as a pretty good motive.
You're wrong, Race.
No, I'm not. The item I particularly don't like is the way you set that little girl up for a patsy. Framing her with some frowsy jewelry. Planting the stuff so she'd not only be suspected of thievery, but of murder as well.
When this man is trying to frame me.
Yes, but he's not going to get away with it.
Put that gun away, Grable. She's making a fool of you.
No, you've been trying to make a fool of me. Making passes at her when you knew she was engaged to me. This is the last pass you'll make at any woman. Why, you...
Sorry, Grable. I can only allow you one miss.
Oh!
Race,
Yes, dear.
I've been thinking of taking a trip to Lake Louise. Why don't you come with me? After all, you can't prove I did anything. The receipt is no longer in existence. Nor the duplicate.
I know. But you wrote pretty heavily when you made it out. Heavily enough to mark up the blank underneath. That was what my report was about. The police lab was able to show it all up. The amount and your signature. And you can put down that poker, darling, before I forget I'm a gentleman.
The Adventures of Frank Race, starring Tom Collins, with Tony Barrett as Mark Donovan, comes to you from Hollywood. Others heard in tonight's cast were Virginia Gregg, Michael Ann Barrett, Jack Crucian, Jack Carrington, and Bert Holland. This series is written and directed by Joel Murcott and Buckley Angel. The music is composed and played by Ivan Ditmars. Be sure to be with us again this same time next week for another dramatic chapter in The Adventures of Frank Race. Art Gilmore speaking. This is a Bruce Ells production.
Welcome back. I'm a big fan of The Adventure of Frank Race and its musical bridges and theme music, which makes these episodes over these next few weeks kind of disappointing in one way regarding the sound quality. Now, I'm sure Andrew will do what he can with these episodes, but when I'm listening to it on first impression, I hear more snap, crackle, and pop during that stirring theme particularly at the end, than a bowl of Rice Krispies. Once again, Race finds himself very unlucky with the women who fall in love with him, or at least pretend like it in hopes that he will never consider the possibility that they did it. Well, that will actually do it for today. For those of you who have the app or the premium site, we'll have another syndicated series that starred Tom Collins in the opening episode. This one is called The Greatest of These. And then join us back here on Monday for another adventure of Frank Race. And tomorrow we have The Fat Man. Well, today's episode is brought to you by the financial support of our listeners. Thank you so much for your support. Well, we now bring you today's episode of The Fat Man. This one was from September the 9th of 1946, and the title is The Crooked Horse.
Weight 237 pounds. Fortune, danger. Who is it?
The Fat Man.
The American Broadcasting Company brings you the adventures of Dashiell Hammett's fascinating and exciting character, the Fat Man, a fast-moving criminologist who tips the scales at 237 pounds. Tonight's adventure, The Crooked Horse. And now, here's the Fat Man.
You know, if a young man told me he wanted to be a detective and asked my advice, I think the most important thing I could tell him would be this. The life of a real detective isn't made up of silk dressing gowns, briar pipes, and intricate clues any more than the life of a real soldier is made up of pretty uniforms, parades, and bugle calls. They're both tough, hard businesses. And no matter what the sweetness and light boys say, it just isn't a fact that every criminal has a yellow streak down his back any more than it was true that every enemy soldier was a coward at heart. Sure, there are yellow crooks, but not all of them, because it stands to reason that a job of violence simply won't appeal to a man who scares easily. And believe me, whether you like it or not, this is a mighty important thing to know when you're dealing with a murderer. The girl wasn't beautiful, but there was a straightforwardness about her that felt brains. There wasn't any coyness or fear in her voice. She looked me straight in the eye. I liked her. She tossed her perky little hat on my desk and tapped a cigarette on the back of her hand.
I heard a murder in room 610 of the Parker Hotel at 2:30 this morning.
Oh, this isn't the police station, Miss,
Father. The police wouldn't be interested, Mr. Runyon.
Why not?
Because the body of the dead man is gone. The hotel doesn't think there was a murder. In fact, the night clerk says there wasn't anybody registered in room 610.
Well, what's your interest in the matter?
Well, what would you do if you heard somebody in the next room to yours murdered? Heard a door slam, heard running footsteps go down the hall, and when you looked through the keyhole, saw a dead man staring at you.
I'd either go back to sleep and see if I couldn't have a nicer dream, or I'd go downstairs and tell a hotel clerk.
It wasn't a dream, and I went down to see the clerk. He looked at the register, and there was nobody listed in room 610. We went upstairs. The room was empty.
Did it look as if it had been occupied?
No. That's why I came to you. Something very peculiar happened in that room last night, and I'm sure a man was killed.
You said you heard this murder. What do you mean? Did something wake you up?
No. I was in bed reading when I heard a knock on the door of the room next to mine. The door opened, I heard a man's voice say, 1,001 pardons, but have you the time? Another man's voice answered, But of course, the time is now.
That doesn't make much sense. You're sure you heard that?
Yes. It sounded so strange that I continued listening closely. I heard footsteps in the room, and then there was a slight pause. Suddenly, the second voice said, white. There was another pause, and the first man answered, black. And then I heard an exclamation of surprise or anger.
From black or white?
I couldn't tell. Almost immediately, I heard a soft, popping noise as if someone had shut off a very weak firecracker. Then I heard a groan of pain and the slam of a door. Footsteps ran down the hall quickly. By the time I opened my door, the hall was empty. You know the rest.
Did you get a good look at the man's face through the keyhole?
Yes. It was directly in front of the keyhole. He was sitting in a chair facing the door. His body had slumped back, but his head was hanging to one side. His eyes were wide open.
Light was
staring.
on in the room?
Yes, but it was off when I came back with the clerk.
And there wasn't anything in the room that looked suspicious?
Nothing. What do you make of it, Mr. Runyon?
I think the hotel people are probably right. I think you had a very realistic nightmare.
I tell you, it wasn't a nightmare. I'm positive of it.
Why so positive?
Because this morning I stopped at the hotel desk and looked in the box of room 610. If that room had been unoccupied, there would have been a key there. The box was empty, Mr. Runyon.
I'd like to see the clerk who was on duty at the desk here last night. Where can I find him?
I was on duty last night. What's wrong?
That's what I want you to tell me.
I don't understand.
Can we talk where it's a little more private?
Yes, I guess so. Just let me...
I have a bit of a problem, and perhaps you can help me.
Oh, yes, sir. Just a second, please.
Okay.
What is it, sir?
I suppose you think I'm silly, but you see, I am a very light sleeper. The slightest noise awakens me, and I have great difficulty in getting back to sleep. Now, I'm a very busy man, and most certainly I need my rest.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
I am already registered here in the hotel. Walker is my name.
Oh, yes, sir.
My room is directly on the street, and it is quite noisy. I was wondering if I might not have another room. Perhaps one on the back near the corridor?
Well, I don't know, sir.
Perhaps room 610. I noticed it as I came out this morning. It seems to be in a position where it would be quieter than one of the others.
Room 610? Well, I don't know, sir. Just a second. I'm sorry, sir, but room 610 is reserved. Reserved? Yes, sir. I'm afraid there are no other vacancies on that floor. Perhaps in some other
But
floor.
perhaps I could have the room just for the afternoon. I really feel that I could rest there.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but that's quite out of the question.
I see. Well, thank you.
Sorry, sir.
A popular room, isn't it?
Beg your pardon, sir?
Room 610. Isn't that the room the young lady thought she heard a murder in last night?
Afraid I don't follow you.
Didn't you say you were on duty here last night?
That's right.
Were you the only clerk?
Of course.
Didn't a girl registered in room 608 come down about 2 o'clock this morning? Tell you she's heard a murder committed in room 610, the room next to hers? Didn't you both go back and find the room empty?
No. I don't understand. I didn't see any girl early this morning. What's more, I didn't leave the desk all night.
I lit a cigarette and walked to the far end of the lobby where I could watch the clerk at the desk. 10 minutes passed. Then another clerk came on duty, and my boy said a few words to him, walked across the lobby to an empty elevator. The door shut. The hand on the dial swung slowly around to number 10 and stopped. There was another elevator standing open. I got in and rode up to the 6th floor. The corridor was empty. I took a pass key out of my pocket and walked slowly down past room 608. and stopped in front of 610. The passkey worked fine. I went into 610 and locked the door behind me. It was a typical second-rate hotel room. A double bed, a couple of chairs, a desk with some aged writing paper, and an unused Gideon Bible. A chest of drawers stood against one wall. Ill-fitting, faded wallpaper of an ancient hunting scene looked down on the room from all sides. I tried the dresser drawers first. 3 hairpins, a silk stocking with a run, and the stub of a theater ticket were all I found. The desk was empty, and there was nothing under the mattress or the ragged throw rug in the center of the floor. On top of the desk stood a glass bowl of artificial flowers. My elbow was resting on the desk 6 inches from it when a key slipped into the lock of the door. My arm jerked around and hit the bowl. The key went out of the lock and footsteps ran off down the hall. The corridor was empty when I opened the door. I closed it and locked it. Then I walked next door to 608.
Oh, come in, Mr. Runyon. Have you learned anything yet?
Maybe.
What?
How long have you been here in your room?
A couple of hours, I guess. Why?
Hear anything in the next room? The one where you thought you heard the murder last night?
Oh, no. No, I haven't heard anything in there. Why? Did you think...
I don't know. Something isn't adding up, sweetheart.
What do you mean?
I mean, the night clerk told me he didn't see you last night. And he didn't come up here to the room next door.
What? But... Well, that's ridiculous. Of course he did. He's lying.
Are you sure he's the one who's lying?
Of course. Wait a minute. You don't think that I'm lying?
Yeah, sweetheart.
But I'm not, I tell you. Why should I lie about that?
That's what I'd like to find out.
I don't understand. Why on earth would that clerk lie to you?
A little early in the day for martinis, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
This cocktail glass. You know, a cocktail glass with water on it makes a swell dictaphone if you press the glass against the wall, put your ear to the stem.
What do you mean?
I mean that you didn't accidentally hear anything in room 610 last night. You did hear something. You were using this glass and you were listening. Why?
But I tell you
Look,
that...
sweetheart, I just knocked a bowl of flowers over in that room and you didn't even hear that.
You were just in room 610?
Yes. Somebody stuck a key in the door just before the flowers went over. It couldn't have been you, could it?
Why, no. What did you find in the room?
Nothing. What did you think I might find?
I don't.
Now, come clean. If you want my help, you've got to tell me the truth. What's it all about? Why were you listening against the wall last night?
I can't tell you that.
Okay, honey. It's been nice knowing you.
Oh, no, wait, please. I need your help.
Well, then talk. And talk straight.
All right. I guess there isn't anything else for me to do. Promise me, though. Please give me your word that you'll keep secret what I'm going to tell you. It's very important. More important than you know.
Okay.
I'm a United States secret agent.
Can you prove it?
Oh, of course not. At least not here. Obviously, I can't carry identification. When I'm on a mission, I'm completely on my own. Funds are deposited in a certain bank for me, and I use them in any manner I see fit to achieve my ends. This morning, I saw fit to hire you because I need help.
The peculiar occurrences in the next room are, of course, part of the job you're working on.
Of course.
It's a swell story.
It's a true one. Mr. Runyon, I really need your help. Won't you please believe me?
Maybe I'm a sap. Okay. I'll play it blind. What's the setup?
Well, the man who was murdered last night is an important foreign agent. He arrived from Europe yesterday and came to this hotel. I followed him and got this room next to his. Now, there's another agent of the same government already operating in this country, but we don't know who he is. Some time ago, we discovered that he had come into possession of a very valuable secret paper, a formula which our government alone had. The man in the next room was to contact this unknown agent and then return to Europe.
And your job was to stop him?
Yes. When the door opened last night and I heard the strange password, I thought, of course, that the unknown agent had arrived.
But it wasn't the right man.
No. Whoever entered that room last night was obviously trying to impersonate the real agent. When he failed to give the correct countersign to the second password, the man in the next room must have reached for a gun and the imposter was forced to kill him.
Have you any idea who the murderer might be?
Well, he's probably an agent for some other foreign power who had even more information than we did. At least he knew one of the passwords, which is more than I knew.
It's possible that the contact had already been made without your knowledge, and the murdered man had the paper.
I don't see how the contact could have been made without my knowledge.
Well, that would have been easy. The secret paper could have been hidden in the room waiting for the man from Europe. I don't think that happened, though.
Why not?
Because I think I saw the murderer down in the lobby a little while ago. He said his name was Walker. He was anxious to rent room 610. He said he was registered in the hotel.
Then the paper must still be in the room.
I went over it pretty carefully and didn't find anything. That's why I don't think it was hidden there. I think the other agent, the one who was supposed to contact the man from Europe, still has it. I think he found the body and guessed what had happened. Maybe he didn't know whether the dead man was his agent or somebody his agent had killed. At any rate, he knew he had to get rid of the body.
But how? Where?
Now listen to me.
Yes.
You stay here with your wine glass. Keep your ear on the next room.
Well, where are you going?
Down to the lobby. I want to find out which room this fellow Walker is registered in.
But the body. You said you knew that.
I said I think I know. It would be easy if the real agent happened to be the right person.
The right person? What do you mean?
I mean the night clerk.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah. I'm looking for a fellow who works here as night clerk.
Mr. Evans.
Yeah, that's the fellow. Is he around here now?
Why, he went off duty a little while ago. He was on all night, so I imagine he's asleep in his room.
What room does he have?
He's in 1003.
Thanks.
Not at all.
Oh, by the way, I believe there's an old friend of mine here in the hotel. His name is Walker. I wonder if you could tell me what room he's in, too.
Certainly, sir. Just a second. Walker, I don't seem to... Oh, yes. This must be your friend. Henry Walker?
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, I'm afraid you're too late, sir. Mr. Walker checked out of the hotel about half an hour ago.
Walker's gone. Checked out.
Gone? Then he did find the paper.
I don't think so.
Well, why would he leave then?
I think he was worried about the missing body. When he realized the murder hadn't been discovered, he came down and tried to rent the room where the body had been. Was told the room was vacant, but was reserved. What would you do in a case like that?
You mean he guessed that the night clerk must be the unknown agent?
Exactly. And he must have realized that the clerk would suspect him for trying to get the room. So he checked out and moved to a safer place. But I think he'll be back, either to see the clerk or to look that room over again.
Where's the clerk now?
He's asleep in his room. Did you hear anything next door?
No, nothing. But if the clerk is the other agent, we ought to...
He'll keep. Right now, I want to look the murder room over again. See if I can find the missing body.
The dead man was sitting in when I looked through the keyhole.
Yeah, I know.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to try and figure something out. After you heard the muffled popping sound, which must have been a gun with a silencer, you heard the door slam. Then you heard running footsteps going away, right?
Yes. And by the time I opened my door, the corridor was empty. This door was locked. It was about 15 minutes later that the clerk and I came back up here.
So if the clerk happened to be on his way up here when you were going down, he could have passed you in the elevator.
Then he discovered the body.
Exactly. A dead man is hard to move. It didn't take the clerk long to hide the body, so it must be near here. Maybe the room across the hall. Let's take a look.
Nobody there. Somebody asleep in the bed.
That's what the hotel maid probably thought, too. He's a smart boy, that clerk. Look.
Yes, that's the man. The man I followed from the airport. The man sitting in the chair.
Stiff as a poker. He was shot all right in the heart. Here, help me go through his pockets.
All right. Had a suitcase when he arrived. Not in the room.
The clerk probably got rid of it or took it to his own room. He could carry that where he couldn't carry a body. You see anything here that looks like your secret paper?
No. No, it's not here.
The clerk's probably got it, or it's still hidden somewhere in the murder room.
What are you doing?
I'm going to cover this dead man up again. The chances are the body won't be discovered now for another 12 or more hours. I want you to go back to your room and keep watching the room where this fellow was killed.
What are you going to do?
I think it's time I had a talk with the night clerk. I stopped in front of the clerk's room and listened. No sound came from inside. Nothing happened. I slipped my hand inside my coat, pulled my gun from the shoulder holster. Then I tried the door. It wasn't locked. The room was dark because the shades were pulled down, but it wasn't dark enough to hide the figure of a man sprawling grotesquely on the bed, his head hanging limply toward the floor. I groped for the light switch. It was Evans, the clerk. One of his hands clutched the rumpled sheet. The other was folded beneath him. A bright trail of blood slid down the side of the bed and formed a dark pool on the floor. I closed the door with my foot and looked round the room. 2 suitcases lay on the floor, their contents beside them in a jumbled heap. Drawers had been empty, pillows slashed, rugs pulled up, pictures pulled down. The killer hadn't missed a trick. From the completeness of the search, it was pretty obvious he hadn't found what he was looking for. I switched off the light, locked the door, and started running for the stairs at the end of the hall. There wasn't time to wait for the elevator. The gun was still in my hand when I opened the door of the girl's room on the 6th floor. She was gone. An overturned chair lay on the floor near the door, the broken cocktail glass beside it. Everything else looked in order. Slipping the safety on my gun, I turned once more toward the hall. And I stopped. Something moved behind the closed door of the bathroom. I yanked it open and stepped back. The girl lay on her side on the floor, her hands and feet tied with stockings. A wash rag stuffed in her mouth served as a gag. Now, just a second, I'll have these off. There we are.
We've got to stop him. He hasn't found the papers yet. Quick, I'll tie my hands.
Right. What happened?
Well, it was only a minute or two after you left. I was standing near the door, holding this glass against the wall, listening. Suddenly I heard someone fumbling at the door of the room next door. I opened my door as quietly as possible to look out into the hall, but he must have heard me. He was standing right in front of me, gun in his hand.
You didn't scream?
No, he hit me, and that's all I remember until just a second ago. I don't know how long I was unconscious.
It wasn't long. I wasn't going more than 15 or 20 minutes.
But that's long enough. He hadn't found the paper, and that's why he came back. The clerk, what about him?
Dead. Just before I got there.
The clerk didn't have it after all. It was hidden in the room next door. Walker's had time by now. He must have found it.
Don't be so sure. Unless Walker is smarter than I think he is, the formula is still there.
But where?
I don't know yet. But we're going to have another good look at that room.
He certainly went through everything.
Yeah. It's the same in the clerk's room.
But he must have found the formula. Why, there's no place else to look. He's even slashed the mattress open.
Yeah, he opened it twice. He went through the pillows twice, too. If he had found it, why go through the whole room twice?
I see what you mean. Then you think it's still here?
I'm sure of it.
But there's nowhere else to look. It's impossible that a piece of paper with that much writing on it could still be hidden in here.
No, you're wrong.
I don't understand.
Well, look at it this way. The easiest way in the world to fool people is by what you might call misplaced attention.
Then you mean there isn't any paper in this room?
Exactly. I told you that clerk was smart. He knew if anyone searched for the formula, they'd naturally look for a piece of paper. That's what I mean by misdirected attention. The formula's here, all right, but it isn't on a hidden piece of paper in an envelope. That's why Walker and I didn't find it.
You mean it might be written on the ceiling or...
Nothing's true to that.
You know where it is?
I think so.
Well, where?
Look at the walls. Doesn't anything strike you as off-key?
The walls? You mean...
Sure. I mean the wallpaper. Here. Look here at this strip of paper behind the bed. See this figure of a horse?
Yes.
The horse is split in two where the paper joins. The hind part is nearly an inch lower than the front part. Near the ceiling, the wall shows through. No paper hanger would be that careless.
Then there is a paper after all, and it's behind the wallpaper.
No, there isn't a paper behind there. That would show. Make a bulge. Unless I miss my guess, the formula is written directly on the back of that strip of wallpaper.
Quick, let's see.
No, not so fast. It might tear. Here, I got a knife. There. Look.
Yes, it is. It's the formula. Quickly, let me have it.
Thank you, my friend.
Walker.
Oh, so you came back.
Put your hands over your heads quickly.
How did you get...
I'm better at opening doors quietly than you are, my dear. So you really were an agent. And I, like a stupid fool, thought you were merely the guest in the next room. I should have killed you then.
You've done too much killing already, Walker. Or whatever your real name is.
I have more to do, too. Very clever of you to find the formula. You would make an excellent man for this type of work.
I like my type better.
Keep your hands up high. Now turn around slowly, facing me. That's good. Now, you, fat man, drop the formula on the floor in front of you, but keep your hands high.
Okay.
Excellent. Excellent. Now I will just pick it up. Now you will get what...
Yeah. Not fast enough, son.
There's an awful chance kicking him when he bent over. He might still have been able to shoot.
This life has made up for chances, sweetheart. Besides, I used to drop kick for my college football team.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
That shot. Somebody must have heard it. Quick, we've got to get out of here. Here, give me the phone.
Not so fast. I think I'll just hang on to this piece of wallpaper.
But you can't. Give it to me. I've got to return it. Don't you see? Please, quickly, before somebody comes.
I'd be a fool to give you this paper. How do I know who you really are? All I've got is your word that you're an American agent.
But I am, I tell you. I am.
Maybe. But I'm keeping the paper.
No, please. It's important. It's got to get back to Washington.
I still like your face, baby. Nice and looks honest. There's a fire escape back there by the window. Somebody from the lobby will be here in a minute. I'll see that the formula gets to Washington and stays out of this business.
But these murders, these bodies.
Leave that to me. If you're on the level, you'll be okay. You can keep on working and nobody will ever know who you are. If you're not on the level, well, that's the chance I take for liking your face. Besides, you haven't killed anybody. I'll get going.
All right. But please see that the formula gets to Washington. Now, here's an address. Just take it there. That's all. You understand?
Yeah, I understand, sweetheart. Move.
Goodbye. And thank you.
Forget it, baby. Operator, get me Sergeant O'Hara at police headquarters, quick.
Sergeant O'Hara speaking.
Runyon, O'Hara. I'm in room 610 of the Parker Hotel with a dead man.
What, again?
He's a murderer. You better hurry, O'Hara. Just a second. Hurry, O'Hara. This is important. Maybe hard to explain. The others, too.
What others?
The other 2 dead bodies hid here in the hotel.
What? You must be crazy. I can't help you get out of...
Yes, you can, O'Hara. You've got to. The fate of a nation is riding again.
Are you drunk? What's that mean?
It means that I've got to make a very important trip to Washington, O'Hara. A very, very important trip.
Next week at this time, the American Broadcasting Company brings you another adventure of Dashiell Hammett's exciting new character, the Fat Man. Next week's story is called The Dancing Tombstone. And, as the Fat Man says,
a ghost makes its rounds silently, and a corpse is quiet forever. But mystery screams in a graveyard when the silence is broken by the dancing tombstone.
tonight's adventure of the Fat Man, played by J. Scott Smart, was produced by Charles Powers. Music is under the direction of Bernard Green. Sergeant O'Hara is played by Ed Begley. And this is Gene Kirby speaking. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
Welcome back. Some pretty interesting cloak and dagger for our hero. Even if the conclusion seemed a little bit rushed, but they packed a lot of suspense and mystery and twists and turns into this episode. Well, we turn now to listener comments and feedbacks. And Melissa comments that, and we've got several on the Fat Man. He's kind of becoming one of those characters like Nero Wolfe and Pat Novak for Hire that even though they run a short time, it make a big impression on the audience. Melissa comments that J. Scott Smart looks eerily like John Candy. I can kind of see the resemblance. Yeah, a little bit. Chris says, I'm very glad to get to listen to this show. Never knew it existed. Thank you for bringing it back. And Kyle says, I really love the Fat Man. I agree with you about the strong tuba in the theme song. It lends a ponderous weight that is so appropriate for the leading man of this great show. Incidentally, on the audio quality, do you happen to know if there's an effort to restore these classic shows to a better quality? It would be a shame to allow these wonderful shows to deteriorate any further to the obscurity of time. Thanks, and keep doing an excellent job. I love the podcast. Well, thanks so much for the question, Kyle. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. I do not believe that there is a formal effort with this particular show. Radio Spirits, which is the maker of a lot of restored audio dramas, I'm not a huge fan because some of their practices, but they do have a couple of Fat Man sets that they have issued. One is a combination of the Fat Man and the Thin Man, and the other combines American and Australian Fat Man episodes. Between those two sets, they have a grand total of 7 episodes. So I imagine those will be better quality. And that tends to be the big advantage that Radio Spirits and Radio Archives offers, is that they have better quality sounds in many cases than what you will be able to download on MP3. Well, thanks so much for the question, and that will do it for today. Join us back here tomorrow for Let George Do It. And then on Wednesday, or next Tuesday, will be another episode of The Fat Man. Send your comments to box13 at greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives. Well, today's episode is brought to you by the financial support of our listeners. Thank you so much for all of your support. And I want to especially thank Elizabeth, who sent along a donation. Thank you so much. And we'll, as we do with all donations of $7 or more, we'll be sending along access to our premium site. Well, now it's time to get into today's episode of Let George Do It. This one's called The Common Denominator.
Personal notice. Danger's my stock and trade. If the job's too tough for you to handle, you got a job for me, George Valentine. Write full details.
Standard Oil Company of California invites you to Let George Do It. In just a moment, we'll begin tonight's adventure of George Valentine. Before you buy another gallon of gasoline, consider these facts. Gasolines can be made to stress one feature at the expense of others, but Chevron Supreme gives you the correct balance of all 8 high-performance qualities. Starting, warm-up, acceleration, mileage, anti-knock, vapor lock prevention, power, and area blending. Try a tank full in your car. Ask for Chevron Supreme gasoline at standard stations and independent Chevron gas stations, where they say and mean, we take better care of your car. The Common Denominator, another adventure of George Valentine.
Dear Mr. Valentine, I don't know exactly why I should spend money to save the life of someone I don't know, possibly of several people I don't know. I imagine it's because I'd like a little peace of mind. Call it conscience or whatever you wish. At any rate, I need your help. I believe that together we may be able to prevent another murder. If the idea appeals to you, please call on me at the above address some evening this week. Come after 9 o'clock when I can be sure we'll be alone. I suggest you make it as soon as possible before the next tragedy. Signed, Laura Trask.
Now, Mrs. Trask, suppose you tell us whose life is in danger and what you want us to do about it.
I don't know, Mr. Valentine. I haven't the slightest idea who it will be. Yet?
Yet, Mrs. Trask? What do you mean by that?
Just what I say, Miss Brooks. There may be no one at all, but after what's already happened, I can't take that chance.
Uh-huh. And what is it that's already happened?
Mr. Valentine, I have predicted 2 murders. I've known about them before they happened.
You have? And you didn't do anything to stop them? Call the police?
The police? No. No, you see, the first time I didn't quite believe it would happen myself.
Well, now, just a minute, Mrs. Trask. Do you mind telling me how you found out about these murders?
It may be hard for you to believe, Mr. Valentine. In both cases, I've had a sudden premonition. A very strong premonition that these people would be killed. And when. And where.
Uh-huh. And they were both people you knew?
I'd never heard of either of them. Both times a name came to me very clearly. A name, and a time, and a place. It was insistent. I couldn't get it out of my mind.
So, what did you do?
I remembered there was a crime reporter on the Clarion, a man named Henry Ellis.
Oh, sure, Hank Ellis, friend of mine. You told him about your impression?
Yes, I didn't give him my name, of course. First time I told him that a man named Arthur Prindle would be shot, killed in front of his rooming house on Elm Street that night.
Mm-hmm. What did Hank do?
Probably what you would have done. Laughed at me and hung up. The next morning it was in the paper. It had happened just as I told him.
But how do you think this vision came to you, Mrs. Trask?
I have no idea. The name and place simply came to me very vividly.
I see. And there was a second murder, you say?
Several weeks later, yes, a man named Walter Ransom.
Oh, yes, I read about that one. Successful businessman, shot and killed in his own study.
I knew about it an hour before. Again, I called your reporter friend. When he got there with the police, it had already happened. If it happens to me again, I want to call you.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, Mrs. Trask, you do that. But first, tell me, have you said anything about this to anyone else outside of Hank Ellis, that is?
Yes, I told my husband. I'm afraid he thinks I have hallucinations, dream up things after they've happened.
He isn't here now.
No, my husband is busy until very late every night. He owns a club.
Oh, would he be Tommy Trask, Club 52?
That's right.
Smoky place, complete with gambling casino.
It's one of the better clubs in town, Mr. Valentine.
Yes, I know. You've told anyone else?
Only one other person, Dr. Schroeder, Dr. Klaus Schroeder, my psychiatrist.
Oh? Well, you don't seem like the sort of person who would need a psychiatrist, Mr. Trask.
Some time ago, I had a little mental upset, Miss Brooks. Nothing serious. Dr. Schroeder has helped me a great deal in orienting myself.
Well, what does he say about these visitations of yours?
He can't understand it any more than I. He's trying to isolate my thoughts, learn more about them.
It's all a little frightening, isn't it, Mrs. Trask?
A little, yes. But it wouldn't be so much so if I could stop the next one. I feel responsible.
Perhaps we can stop it. Just remember one thing. If you get another of these premonitions, call me right away. I'll take it from there. Okay, Brooksy, that takes care of that.
Oh, George, did you get Hank Ellis on the phone?
Yeah.
Did Mrs. Trask actually call him both times before the murder took place?
Sure. First time, Hank thought she was balmy and hung up on her. Second time, he got there too late, just as she said.
Well, then that proves she didn't just dream all those things after she'd read about them, doesn't it?
Naturally. Also proves that she's either psychic...
Which you don't believe, I'm sure.
Or that she'd had advance information from some source or other.
Maybe she didn't tell us everything she knows, darling.
Maybe not. Which would just make it tougher.
Mr. Valentine?
What? Oh, yeah.
I'm Tommy Trask. I understand you want to see me.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, this is Miss Brooks.
How do you do, Miss Brooks?
Won't you sit down for a minute?
Certainly. What can I do for you?
I don't know exactly. Perhaps nothing. I just came in to lay a few cards on the table.
You came in... Oh, yes, I understand what you mean. Well, perhaps I can accommodate you.
Oh, just a second, Trask. Let's get straightened out. I don't mean the cards in the back room.
Oh? And what do you mean?
It's about Mrs. Trask. She's engaged me to try and help her.
I see. About the thing she's imagined?
Well, I don't think a couple of corpses come under the heading of imagination, Mr. Trask, do you?
Naturally not.
The fact remains Mrs. Trask knew about both of those killings before they happened.
Yes. So she tells me.
Would you mind giving us your opinion of the whole thing?
Not at all. Either she came across some information somewhere, or she murdered them herself, or she's a witch.
I'm afraid the days of Salem are over, Mr. Trask, so let's drop the witchcraft. And I don't believe you think your wife is a murderer.
Only trying to be funny. Of course I don't.
That leaves only one thing, that she came across some information.
Perhaps that's it.
Uh-huh. Did you know either of those men who were killed?
I did not. One of them was a bum killed in front of his boarding house. The other was a businessman of some means. And if you're trying to insinuate that I
Did you talk in your sleep, Mr. Trask? No, of course not. I just wanted to get your angle before we try to help prevent another murder, that's all.
There won't be another murder, Mr. Valentine. At least none that my wife will know about beforehand.
What makes you so sure of that, Mr. Trask?
Because I believe my wife will be cured of this strange thing that's been happening to her. I'm sure Dr. Schroeder, her psychiatrist, will straighten the whole thing out.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose a good psychiatrist can. Well, thanks for your time, Mr. Trask. Tomorrow morning I'm going to call this Dr. Schroeder, and then we'll just sit tight and see what happens.
Mr. Valentine, Miss Brooks, yes. Now, what may I do for you?
Well, Dr. Schroeder, you have a patient by the name of Trask, Mrs. Tommy Trask.
Oh, well, I believe you must know the ethics of the profession, Mr. Valentine. Whether I have or have not a patient of any particular name is not the business of an outsider.
Oh, yeah, that's quite right, Doctor. I understand, except, you see, Mrs. Trask is my client, too.
Ah, you are also a doctor?
Mr. Valentine is trying to help Mrs. Trask in another way, Dr. Schroeder, but it has a connection with what you're doing for her.
So? Well, I am afraid I still don't understand why you come to me.
Doctor, we know about the premonitions, the visions Mrs. Trask has had. We know you're trying to do something about them. Is that clear?
Oh, clear? Yes, I suppose. But if you are not a member of the profession, why did she engage you?
So that another incident of the same kind could be stopped before it happens, that's all. Now are you willing to cooperate with me?
Well, but of course, Mr.
Valentine.
Valentine, yes, I'm sorry. What can I do for you?
You can tell me this, Doctor. Do you think Mrs. Trask has some sort of occult power that makes her predict murders?
Now, Mr. Valentine, I must confess, I am completely at a loss. I have studied Berlin, Paris, Vienna. I feel I understand my work, but this case has me completely baffled.
You mean you think it's possible to have supernatural powers?
All my training tells me it's impossible. But in this case, I'm frank with you, I do not know.
Dr. Schroeder, when you're giving Mrs. Trask your treatments or whatever you call them, hasn't she ever dropped some little clue to how she knows these things?
Well, only some vague remarks about her husband, something that she seems... I'm forgetting. What the lady tells me is for me to know and use to better her mental health.
Yeah, I understand, Doctor. Well, thanks. Oh, by the way, when do you think she'll have another premonition of murder?
Oh, who knows? Perhaps at this moment, perhaps next month, perhaps never. How can I say?
Yeah, you're right. How can anybody say? Well, good luck, Doctor. And let's hope that between us we can find the answer to Mrs. Trask's problem. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Valentine.
That's right.
This is Mrs. Trask. I called your office and there wasn't any answer, so I tried your home.
Yeah, well, it's a little late for office hours.
Mr. Valentine, it's happened again just a few minutes ago.
All right, let's have it.
His name is Glenn Diggers. He runs a carnival on West Crenna Street.
You know him?
What? Of course I don't know him. It came to me.
All right, go ahead. What else came to you?
He sleeps in a tent on the carnival grounds, Mr. Valentine. At midnight, someone will be there to murder him.
That's all you have?
Isn't that enough? You can find the address of the carnival somewhere.
That's all right. I know where it is. Been past it many times. All right, that gives me an hour. Stay where you are and wait for my call. Okay, Brooksy, here we are. That must be Digger's tent right over there.
Yes, but it's also dark around here. What do we do now, George?
Well, you stay right out here in the car and wait for Johnson. I can't understand why he isn't here.
They said he was at home. They give him the message and have him come right out.
Yeah, well, he'll be along pretty soon then. Just stay in the car.
What are you going to do?
Go over to that tent and find Diggers. Still got a few minutes before the job's supposed to come off. Hey, Diggers. Hey, Diggers, you in there? He must be asleep. I better get inside.
Stop right there. Don't move.
What's the idea? Who's that?
I said don't move.
Voice sounds familiar.
Where are you? Who is it? What do you want?
Get up.
Get away from me.
Oh, yeah. Better.
Let me go. Let me go.
Sure. I'll let you go in just a few minutes. I'll let you take a little ride with the police, Mrs. Trask.
We'll return to tonight's adventure of George Valentine in just a moment. Friends, it was over a year ago that Standard Oil Company of California announced a revolutionary new oil that had been developed by atomic energy. That new oil was new RPM motor oil, for which we promised doubles engine life, the time between major overhauls due to lubrication. And since then, actual case histories have confirmed this promise. Time after time, users of new RPM have written in to tell us that everything we said was true. New RPM did double engine life. New RPM cut in half the wear rate of critical engine parts. One cab company, operating in the tough grind that all cabs go through, found new RPM added 100% engine life. No wonder that new RPM motor oil has for years been first choice of Western motorists. So here's what new RPM motor oil can do for your car. If repair bills have been giving you nightmares, change to the oil that doubles engine life. And if you own an automobile for which the manufacturer recommends a heavy-duty type of motor oil, remember this fact. New RPM motor oil exceeds all their requirements. So for top protection under all driving conditions, be sure you're getting new RPM when you buy motor oil. To be sure, stop in at any independent Chevron gas station or standard station where they say, and mean, we take better care of your car. And now, back to tonight's adventure of George Valentine. You find yourself with an apparently normal client who has an equally abnormal talent, the ability to predict murders before they happen. The first two come off according to the precise schedule of her premonitions. The third, about which she has called you, doesn't come off quite the same way, because you surprised the lady herself, gun in hand, at the scene of the predicted crime. If your name is George Valentine, you're beginning to wonder why you ever took the case, when from another corner of the carnival tent you hear...
Here, I say. What's coming off here?
Is that you, Mr. Diggers?
Of course. Who are you?
Well, maybe we could discuss that better with a little light. You got one someplace?
Right. An electric torch. Here we are.
Better?
There. Now, what's all this fuss out here? I heard a shot and... Well, a lady, too. What is all this?
Oh, no. Let's not put on an act. You two know each other, of course.
Hey, know this lady? I never laid eyes on her before in all my life.
Ah, but I'm sure the lady knows you, don't you, Mrs. Trask?
What are you trying to do to me, Mr. Valentine? I don't know this man.
Crew, what are you two doing here in the middle of the night anyway?
Good question. Mrs. Trask, ladies first.
Mr. Valentine, I know what you must be thinking, but it's not true. You think I came here to kill this man myself.
Well, now, what else is there to think?
Kill me? I say, lad, what are you talking about?
Let's have Mrs. Trask explain that.
I can. I know you told me to stay home after I called you on the phone, but I was afraid you wouldn't come. I had to be sure there wasn't another murder.
You had a pretty good idea who was going to commit the murder, right?
No, of course not. I just realized that if I could stop this one some way, maybe I could get the whole horrible thing out of my mind forever. You've got to believe me, Mr. Valentine.
Now, see here. I don't understand all this. I'm a peaceable man. I run a carnival and I run it honest. Now, who'd want to murder me?
I don't know yet, Diggers. Maybe nobody. This your own gun, Mrs. Trask?
Yes, of course it is.
22, huh? Very pretty.
What do you mean by that?
Ladies' type gun, you know.
Valentine, you in there?
Oh, yeah, Johnson. Brooksy with you?
I'm here, George. You all right?
Sure. Come on in and join the party. I'll just keep the gun for you, Mrs. Trask. Much safer for everybody there.
Yeah, well, I got here as fast as I could, Valentine. Got me out of bed. Took a little time.
Yeah. Well, guess I needn't have bothered you, Johnson. Looks like we're not going to have a murder here tonight after all.
What?
But, George, I heard a shot. It came from this way.
Oh, yeah. Somebody did a little shooting, all right, but it was dark and they missed.
Yeah, but who are these people?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot my manners. Mrs. Trask, Mr. Diggers, Lieutenant Johnson, Miss Brooks.
How do you do?
You already know Mrs. Trask, Brooksy.
Yes, hello.
Now, let's get this straight, Valentine. You brought me out in the middle of the night because you think somebody's going to be murdered. Oh.
This gentleman, as I understand it, Johnson.
Yeah? And who gave you to understand it?
Well, now, somebody had a hunch, that's all, and it didn't pay off. Oh, by the way, maybe you can give me a little information. You, remember the Arthur Prindle murder?
Yeah, sure.
Well, what kind of a gun killed Prindle? Caliber, I mean.
It was, 38. Bullet was still in him.
Uh-huh. And, the Walter Ransom killing?
The same, 38. Hey, look here. What are you getting at? What's all that got to do with this?
Oh, might have a lot to do with it. You see, I've been communing with the spirits, Johnson. Some of them know a lot about unsolved murders.
What kind of crazy talk is that?
Oh, it may sound crazy to you, Lieutenant, but I think if I get better acquainted with those spirits, they may help you pick up your killer.
George.
Yeah, Angel?
You think somebody tried to kill Mr. Diggers and got away?
Whoever it was didn't stick around.
But won't whoever it was come back after we go?
Maybe, but his victim won't be around. Diggers, you're coming home with me tonight for safety's sake.
I am? Well, just as you say, lad, but I can't for the life of me figure why anybody'd want to kill me.
Neither can I, yet. Mrs. Trask?
Yes?
You drive straight home.
Yes, I will.
Johnson, I'm sorry to have bothered you. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Valentine. Come in.
Good morning, Johnson.
Well, what do you want?
Need some information.
You need some information.
But in order to get it, I'll have to give you some.
Not a bad idea if it's any good.
Oh, it is. No, I don't know if you'll believe it.
Okay, shoot.
All right. The Mrs. Trask you met out at the carnival last night is my client. She has a little quirk of being able to predict murders.
Valentine, don't you think you've been working too hard?
Oh, it's a fact. She knew about the Prindle killing before it happened. Same with the ransom murder. Same with the one that was supposed to come off last night.
Mm-hmm. I suppose this Mrs. Trask just goes into a trance, looks in a crystal ball, gets a message.
Well, now, Johnson, it isn't quite as fancy as that. She gets a strong
Valentine, I'm in no mood to talk nonsense.
Well, now, you don't have to take my word for it. In both of those murders, she called Hank Ellis on the Clarion. Before they happened, of course.
Yeah? Say, I remember in that ransom case, Ellis was on the scene when we got there.
All right, then. Now, Prindle and Ransom and the little Englishman Diggers are apparently as far apart as the poles. But somewhere there's got to be a common denominator, something they all had in common.
That's easy. Your client is a common denominator.
No, I don't mean that way. She didn't know any of them. Diggers didn't know her.
Say, who is this Mrs. Trask, anyway?
Her husband's Tommy Trask.
What do you mean? Club 52?
That's right.
Well, then there's your common denominator.
Yeah? How do you figure?
Well, he hasn't always been in the chips, you know. And he made a lot of enemies. Maybe some of them had something on him. He had to get rid of them.
Yeah, go on.
So his wife heard him planning these things or talked him in his sleep.
No. Boy, I came up with that little cutie myself, only I didn't play it that seriously. No, our common denominator is the men who were killed.
Yeah, they can't help us much.
Now, I'd like you to do something for me.
Yeah, what?
I want good pictures of both Prindle and Ransom. Get them sent up from the files, and I'll pick them up in a few minutes.
Pictures, huh?
That's right, good ones. While you're doing that, I'm going to pick up Brooksy. Hey, Mr. Diggers.
Hi. Oh, hello, Mr. Valentine. Hello, lady.
Hello, Mr. Diggers.
I didn't get a chance to thank you for keeping me in your apartment last night, lad. It's a nice place you've got there.
Everything going all right today?
Smooth as silk. Ma'am, no need to worry about me.
No, I just came out to ask you something.
Oh, certainly. Come inside my tent.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, did you ever know anybody by the name of Walter Ransom?
Walter Ransom? No, sir, I can't say as I have. Say, he was that bloke as was killed a while back, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Now, try this one. Arthur Prindle.
Arthur... Yes, sir, I knew an Arthur Prindle once, quite a long time ago.
Well, then take a look at this picture. This the one you knew?
Yes, sir. That's the one.
Where did you know him?
I'd rather not say, Mr. Valentine.
Listen, if you want to save your own life and maybe some others, you'd better tell me.
All right, then. It was in San Quentin. This Prindle was in at the same time I was.
Now, you know the man in this picture?
Certainly. He was there at the same time, too. His name is Bill Gates.
George, Lieutenant Johnson said that's a picture of Walter Ransom.
That's right, Brooksy. But people do change their names sometimes when they get to be successful and want to get rid of the past. Now, I got one more for you to look at, Diggers.
Certainly, sir.
Here we are.
Why, George, that's just an ad.
I know, something I picked up. Know this man, Diggers?
Yes, that's the one that escaped. Oh, he was a bad one, he was. I thought I saw him one day on the street, but... Hey, that's the wrong name it says there.
I thought it might be. What's the right name?
He's Fred Farmer. Oh, yes, a bad one. He's a killer. I'd recognize him even in that picture.
Thanks, Diggers. Maybe you solved a couple of murders and kept yourself alive at the same time.
George, what are you going to do?
Call Johnson fast, Brooksy. Have him join us in a little party. Oh, and Diggers, you're invited, too.
What right have you to come into... Oh, it's Mr. Valentine.
Yeah, that's right, Dr. Schroeder. I'm sorry to come right in without being announced.
No, that's quite all right, but... No, wait, you seem to be excited about something?
Yeah, I am. I think I found a way to clear up those premonitions of Mrs. Trask's.
Ah, well, that will be a great help.
Only I need one more fact before we can wash it up. I'm sure you can give it to me.
Of course. What is that fact?
Why did you kill Prindle and Ransom, Farmer?
Farmer? I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't? Then I'll tell you. Both Prendle and Ransom were classmates of yours at San Quentin, weren't they, Farmer?
Now, young man, you're being utterly ridiculous. I can't understand a thing you're saying.
It was a great idea, getting Mrs. Trask in a hypnotic state and telling her about the murders in advance.
Now, Mr. Valentine, your imaginations, they're fantastic. Mrs. Trask told me about these things. No, I'm afraid you have the wrong man.
Yeah? How about those traveling bags? Getting ready to go somewhere?
I have a case out of town.
You certainly have. Missed on the diggers deal, didn't you? Knew you'd have to get out.
Now, please, my patience has limits.
Sure, so does mine. Okay, Farmer. Let's not waste any time. Oh, Diggers, come on in.
What? Where's Diggers?
Yes, Mr. Valentine, what do you want with me? Where?
Recognize this man, Diggers?
Recognize him? I most certainly do, if it ain't Fred Farmer.
All right, you fools, you bungling amateurs. I suppose you think you can get away with this.
Well, the man's got a gun. 38, no doubt. And he's already proved it works, too.
Yes, and it'll work again. Neither one of you is going to leave this office. I've killed 2 people for my freedom. I won't stop at 2 more.
Hey, Mr. Valentine,
I don't think you would, Farmer. Only I forgot to tell you there's another guest at our little party. Okay, Johnson, you heard the confession. Come on in and take him.
I won't go. You'll never get me.
Oh, yes, we will, Farmer. This place is surrounded. You'd never get away. Now drop the gun.
George, is everything...
Oh, yeah. He's under control, Brooksy. Come on. Let's get out and give our client a little peace of mind. Tell you about it on the way.
If slapdash grease jobs have left your car squeaking like a crate of baby chicks, call on Car Savers and see what you've been missing. Car Saver Lubrication Service gets rid of squeaks, cuts the wear rate of vital parts. And Car Savers stand behind every grease job with a guarantee against squeaks for a full 1,000 miles. For quieter, smoother driving and longer car life, get a Car Saver grease job every 1,000 miles at any independent Chevron gas station or standard station where they say and mean, we take better care of your car.
But, George, how did you even suspect Dr. Schroeder?
Well, it made sense after I got the common denominator. The other 3 had spotted him, recognized him as Farmer, even with the beard and the phony accent, so he had to get rid of him.
Well, yes, but Mrs. Trask, you think he actually told her about these people who were going to be killed?
Sure, but only when he had her under a hypnotic spell during those treatments of hers.
Well, I still don't see why you'd tell her.
Well, not so strange. Tommy Trask has a past, too. If his wife began predicting murders, who would they suspect?
Tommy Trask. And that would take the suspicion away from Farmer.
Right.
George.
Yeah, Angel?
Do you think I could hypnotize you?
Sure, I suppose so. Why? What would be the point?
Well, you might suddenly find yourself one day in a jewelry store buying something for somebody.
Hey, that makes me think.
What, darling?
I gotta get my watch fixed. I better do that right away.
Oh, George.
Tonight's adventure of George Valentine has been brought to you by Standard Oil Company of California on behalf of independent Chevron gas stations and standard stations throughout the West. Robert Bailey is starred as George with Virginia Gregg as Brooksy. Let George Do It was written by Lloyd London and directed by Kenneth Webb. Ken Christie was heard as Lieutenant Johnson, Alice Reinhardt as Laura, Harry Bartell as Trask, Larry Dobkin as Klaus, and Parley Bear as Glenn. Music is composed and presented by Eddie Dunstetter. Your announcer, John Heaston. Listen again next week, same time, same station, to Let George Do It. Let George Do It is heard overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. Well, this is one of those cases where you just feel like, or at least I do, that the villain outsmarted himself. The only reason, because I may have missed it, but I don't believe that the use of hypnosis was specifically mentioned to George. He made a deduction based on the fact that the solution we had turned out to be the only thing that actually made any sense. And in one way, the villain just put himself in an incredibly bad position through this whole stunt. Had one or the other of the three men been blackmailing them, he could have committed the murder and them not be tied to each other, certainly not back to him. With the murder premonitions going to the police, he practically invited what do these three men have in common? And once the police started asking that question, he was done for. So a complex stratagem doesn't pay off for the murderer. All right, well, now a programming note. September 30th, this Sunday is September 30th, and it's a very important day. It is the 50th anniversary of the very last program with ties to the Golden Age of radio. And so next Sunday, we're going to bring you a special episode featuring these two programs. Now, one is a detective series we're doing, yours truly, Johnny Dollar. The other is kind of a mystery / ghost story / not very well done ghost story. But they were the last two episodes, and we will have some commentary, and we'll bring you the shows as an extra bonus for you this coming Sunday. So be sure to listen to that. I even debated trying to be really authentic and have the programs begin at the exact hour that Johnny Dollar and Suspense did, but decided that might be taking things just a wee bit too far. Plus, most people wouldn't be able to download it at that time, and so just be sure to be listening on Sunday. All right, well, we'll see you back tomorrow for Sherlock Holmes. Well, I do want to encourage you, if you've not already, to pick up a copy of my ebook, All I Needed to Know, I Learned from Columbo. We take a look at life lessons from 7 great fictional detectives, including Sherlock Holmes, Monk, Boston Blackie, and Dan Holliday, among others. And it is available to you as in ebook form for both the for Kindle, for Kobo, for Barnes & Noble Nook, for the iPad, in the Apple Store, and for all other formats, you can go to smashwords.com. Also, if you do happen to have the Kindle, would also encourage you to try out the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio articles. Every week I post generally 2 articles, sometimes only 1, but usually 2 articles, and they're about either detective fiction or a vintage movie review, or the Golden Age of cinema, Golden Age of radio, topics I think listeners to this program would enjoy, and you can try that out free for 2 weeks on your Kindle. So be sure to check out the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio for Kindle. Now it's time for today's episode of Sherlock Holmes, The Knife of Vengeance.
From New York City, the makers of Clippercraft clothes for men and more than 1,200 leading retail stores from coast to coast present Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's immortal character, the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes, starring John Stanley. This week's story, The Knife of Vengeance.
Holmes, the heat of these steel furnaces is unbearable. Thousands of degrees in those ovens.
We'll have to bear it, Watson, until we find that murderer. He's hiding somewhere in this foundry, I'll wager.
You're right. There he goes, racing past the furnace just ahead.
He's climbing that ladder to the catwalk above us.
This way, Holmes. Let's go up after him.
No, Watson, come back. That cauldron of hot metal over your head, he's turning it over. Look out! When you buy fine silver, you're always sure to look for the sterling mark, aren't you? So, too, whenever you shop for fine clothes, you should insist on seeing the famous Clippercraft label, the wheel of a Clippercraft ship. Clippercraft clothes are produced in historic New England by craftsmen with a tradition as proud as that which built and sailed the Yankee clipper ships to rule the seven seas. None but the renowned Clippercraft label assures you of truly superb quality at such modest prices. And speaking of quality, be sure to see Clippercraft's truly expensive-looking topcoats and overcoats, priced at only $40 to $47.50. And the new zipper-lining topcoat for handsome Clippercraft styling for exceptionally modest Clippercraft prices. I should like to suggest, on behalf of the makers of Clippercraft, and for your own satisfaction, that you compare them with clothes selling for many dollars more. Dr. Watson, who wielded the knife of vengeance, and what was he trying to avenge?
Those were the awful problems that faced Holmes, Mr. Harris. For this was a killer whose grisly specter prowled the Sheffield area, whose black silhouette stalked in horrible outline against the blinding red glare of the steel furnaces. It began at the home of Theodore Pickering, a partner in the Griswold Pickering Steelworks. Pickering was at home one twilight, relaxing alone in his study. Outside, he heard a wandering tradesman hawking his wares, chanting a familiar sing-song as he rode by.
Good evening. Any knives to be sharpened, mister?
Well, I don't know. The servants are off today.
Surely you've something to be sharpened. I've a stone in the cart. It's most inexpensive. Makes doing things about the house so much easier when you've well-sharpened knives.
I'll look in the kitchen cupboard. This way.
Why, you've dozens of knives that could use sharpening, sir. I'll fetch my stone.
Oh, wait,
Won't take but a moment.
I say, how much do you charge?
Shilling a knife, that's all, sir. I'll roll this stone of mine right into your kitchen. There. Here we are. You'll be very happy you've had your knives made sharper. I'll fix them so they'll cut the thinnest paper. If you'll hand me that bread knife, sir.
Very well.
Thanks, sir. That's good. I wanted to be sharp as canvas. Just watch. How smooth. Watch closely, sir. There's a special reason why I wish you to notice how this blade is sharpened, to appreciate the artistry with which it is done.
Special reason?
Yes.
Why are you so anxious for me to watch closely?
You are admiring the sharpening of the knife that will be used to cut your throat.
What did you say?
This is the knife I will use to kill you, Pickering.
To kill me? Are you insane? What sort of a joke is this? How do you know my name?
You know mine, too. My name is Bennett.
Good Lord. You are Bennett. Yes, I didn't recognize you. You were stout then. Now your cheeks are hollow, your eyes are sunken, and you've grown a beard. Bennett, where the devil have you come from? What are you up to?
I thought I made it very clear. I'm sharpening this knife to cut your throat.
Stop that gruesome joking and answer me.
I am not joking. You may shout all you like, there's no one about. I made sure of that. I locked the door when I fetched the stone. And though I've suffered years of ill health, I'm still twice as powerful a man as you. Thanks to my years soaking the furnace at the mill. This should be easy for me.
Will you stop sharpening that knife? Answer my question.
Just a moment longer. I want the knife So sharp. So sharp. There we are.
Speak up, Bennett. Is this your idea of an amusing way to reappear in Sheffield?
Oh, not amusing. Simply justice. Inescapable justice. Late, perhaps. It's been over 10 years. Shall I recall certain incidents to your memory? I created an alloy process. A method of manufacturing a new type of steel. The Bennett process. When I offered it to you, the experiment with it was a failure. You and Griswold persuaded me to leave England, to forget my failure. Remember how I disappeared from Sheffield?
Of course.
I drifted a great deal to the continent, to South Africa, to South America. I degenerated. I began drinking. I was introduced to hashish. I was a degraded wastrel to be found more often than not in the gutters of some God-forsaken village of the Near East. Those years had one beneficial effect, though.
What do you mean?
They changed my appearance radically. One morning I came across a newspaper article. Look, I have it here. Faded, but still legible. It describes how Pickles and Miss Griswold had become fabulously wealthy in Sheffield with a certain alloy process.
You vanished, Bennett. We believed you were dead.
I returned here to Sheffield very quietly. Some weeks ago, I began making inquiries. I found Kennedy, our former assistant. Remember him?
Yes.
I forced him to confirm my suspicions. You did betray me. You deliberately made that first experiment a failure.
Do you want money? We might compute your share.
No. I want my 10 years back. I want the 10 years I spent wandering the face of the earth without purpose. And that's impossible. So I'm settling for vengeance. You conniving stink.
Let go of my throat, Bennett.
Now we'll see if I sharpen the knife well enough. We'll see if it will cut your throat. Yes, the knife is nice. Tell me, Pickering. Tell me, that painting, was it bought with my money? Was it a dramatic setting for you? Then we must use the knife on it. Like this. This massive, priceless oaken table has a Venetian glass upon it. Did it serve you well, here as you sat in my place? Then we must destroy it. These chairs and sofas. Did they look splendid? Did you repeat your guests? The knife. We must put the knife to them. Done with your own steel. Pickering. Your own magnificent shining steel. Just the way you and your life pattern should die. By the steel that made you so glorious and an illicit empire.
So, Superintendent Rodney, you say you found Pickering literally butchered.
Yes, Mr. Oates. No sign, Superintendent, of the murderer's knife?
No sign, Dr. Watson. Not a clue of any sort. That is why I've come running here to Baker Street, Mr. Oates. I hopped the train from Sheffield as quick as I could. Oh, of course, I reported the homicide to Scotland Yard. Do you know how long they'll be about it?
An eternity, my dear sir. An eternity.
The countryside is in a cold sweat, sir. Why, this madman's liable to go after others with his knife.
Yes, you were quite correct in hastening to me, Superintendent. This case is not a matter of weeks, nor of days, nor possibly of hours. The madman must be identified and apprehended instantly.
Shall we off to Sheffield, Holmes?
We must pack our luggage this minute, Watson, and dash for the railway station. The sheer violence of this crime indicates no ordinary homicide. This is the work of a deranged, malevolent mind. A human being who does not exist by breathing air, but who subsists upon hate in the essence. Distilled venom. Bloodlust.
I don't tell fortunes, but I know you will enjoy a delightful surprise tomorrow when you visit the independent store in your community that sells Clippercraft clothes. You will finger really luxurious fabrics you can count on for long, steady wear. You will admire clean-cut workmanship, fine tailoring details at shoulders, buttonholes, and sleeves, and the graceful hang you find only in truly expensive suits. Yes, you'll look like $1 million. But here's the big surprise. You will pay just $40 or $45. Incredible? Not when you know that your Clippercraft dealer is one of more than 1,200 independent stores throughout America who concentrate their huge purchasing power to bring you unbelievable savings. That's why even a truly fine worsted suit with the Clippercraft label costs only $45. That's why men who know insist on Clippercraft clothes bearing the Clippercraft label. So be sure to visit the Clippercraft store in your city.
These leading stores in the metropolitan area are proud to add their names to Clippercraft in your suits, top coats, and overcoats. In Manhattan, John Wanamaker Men's Stores, Broadway at 8th and 67 Liberty Street. Saks 34th, Broadway at 34th. In Brooklyn, Abraham and Strauss. In Newark, New Jersey, Boulevard Men's Shop, Kresge, Newark. And in Jamaica, the B&B Clothes Shop, 16408 Jamaica Avenue.
Well, Dr. Watson, we mustn't lose a moment in returning to Mr. Holmes and his pursuit of the killer holding the knife of vengeance.
Well, Mr. Harris, we dashed for the train with Superintendent Rodney, and we reached Sheffield. There at the home of the dead man, Mr. Pickering, Holmes began his customary penetrating examination.
There, Mr. Holmes. I wouldn't allow him to remove the body for an autopsy till you had a look.
Very wise, Superintendent.
Must have been a gigantic struggle, Holmes, the way the furniture is upset, the paintings...
Very little struggle, Watson. A casual examination of the cadaver reveals there are no bruises caused by body blows nor by striking physical objects. Still further examination of the painting, for instance, leads to the conclusion that the painting was slashed by a knife, the same knife, in fact, that butchered Mr. Pickering.
How the dickens do you know that, Holmes?
My lens shows there are minute specks of blood at the edges where the canvas was ripped. Evidently, after murdering Pickering, the killer went upon an orgy of destruction.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, sir, we've still no indication of what this criminal looks like, or who he is, or where he's gone. And if he's as dangerous as you make him out, well, he may be at someone else's throat this very minute.
Oh, there's very much to be said about this criminal, Rodney. He's an extremely powerful man with black hair. At the time of committing this bestial deed, he was wearing a dark gray suit. His profession is that of knife sharpening.
Holmes, you can't rattle off conclusions that way without explaining them.
Watson, a gentleman of the late Pickering's means would not sharpen his own knives. You've also learned that it was the servant's night off. But someone did perform that task. Upon the floor to your left, you may perceive traces of emery dust. This is substantiated by the markings of the small wheels of the typical cart employed by professional knife sharpeners. No doubt the killer used the profession as an easy device to gain entry.
About his being powerful, though.
That oaken table has been turned topsy-turvy. It's so huge and weighty, it requires a man of great strength to upset it. And the upsetting's been done. Certainly not by the dead man, puny chap that he was.
You said the killer had black hair and a gray suit.
Yes, so I did. That information is to be gathered from beneath the fingernails of the corpse. As he fell, he clutched at the man who was taking his life. But there's a particle of dark gray thread beneath those nails from the murderer's clothes. And a single black hair. A microscopic examination of the medulla, cortex, and the cuticle of the hair will determine whether it's from the head or the beard.
Well, I'll notify the police of the neighboring villages to be on the alert for a chap of that description. Well, it's not very definite, I must say.
I believe we may overcome your skepticism, my dear Rodney, with this extremely small speck of paper I found.
Well, let's see it. Well, it has the appearance of newsprint.
Yes, quite. This is a speck that's clearly fallen off a newspaper. It has the peculiarly stiff, yellowish appearance of a faded newspaper of many months ago.
There isn't anything on it but that smudge, Holmes.
It is of infinite value to us, Watson. Superintendent, if you'll inform me of the location of the nearest telegraph office, in a very short while, I'll supply you with every scrap of information required to trace the killer.
Yes, but how, Holmes? How?
Absurdly simple, Watson. I shall identify and track down the killer by telegraphing Cairo, Egypt.
You know, it's been a considerable length of time since you telegraphed to Cairo, Holmes. We've been sitting in this telegraph office for hours here. To whom did you send the message? What did it say?
It was a request, Watson, a request with which Cairo will be quick to comply. The police are patrolling the roads for a black-haired, husky knife sharpener, but they may not find him. Aha, perhaps this is it. Yes, my name in code. Now, Watson, from that little instrument we shall have the answer to the riddle. Listen.
I still don't understand why you selected Cairo, Holmes, and what in creation they're telling
Quiet,
you.
Watson. You mustn't miss a word. The homicidally inclined gentleman we're searching for may be plunging his knife into another victim even as we sit here.
Any noise, Miss Sharpenman?
Yes, I'm glad you've come by. Step in, won't you?
Delightful. Mind if I just push my stone into the kitchen? This way? There we are, my lady.
Aren't you working rather late this evening?
Poor man must earn a living. Every shilling extra, you know.
My servants are off this evening, but cook told me that the knives that needed sharpening are in this drawer. Ah, here they are.
Thank you. Now, just watch. Smooth. Smooth. The edge becomes fine. Very fine. The blade must be keen. So keen. Would you mind to close the door, ma'am? There's a bit of a draft.
Certainly.
Thank you. Now then, step closer to the wheel, ma'am. Don't be frightened of the spot. You'll see how the stone caresses the steel, how it strokes away the rough edges. That's it, ma'am. Closer. Closer!
My arm! Let go, you'll break my arm! What are you...
I want to be very sure you stay right here, Anne.
If you don't let go of my arm...
I'm not just an everyday flower. Not the garden variety in fever after a lovely woman. Not by any means. Pickering didn't recognize me.
You're Bennett.
Yes. I was at Pickering's earlier. He died by stealing. I promised myself that you and Bristol would die that way too.
No.
I know you coaxed me into the experiment with the alloy. You schemed with Pickering. You used my attraction to you as a lover so that you both might learn the process.
No.
Then when it seemed to be a failure, you persuaded me to leave England so the two of you might revel in the profits.
No.
I'm going to cut your throat with this steel.
No.
It is painful, but not for long. Pickering died quickly. It's just one neat stroke like this.
Easy, Watson. That's Bennett. Who in blazes are you? My name is Sherlock Holmes, Bennett. I'm a criminal investigator.
Keep away from me. I'm very handy with this knife.
So we've observed. Careful, Watson.
I'll just borrow this chair, Anne, and clear my way through this window.
Oh, he's gone through the window.
After him, Watson. Come on. See him out there?
Oh, confounded Holmes, it's so blasted dark out there.
Never mind playing cat and mouse with him. I know where he'll go.
Where?
He knows the town's onto him. Therefore, he'll hide. And where would he hide? The one place that's most familiar to him. By the huge fires and the bubbling cauldrons of the steel foundry. Run, Watson, run!
The heat by these steel furnaces is unbearable, Holmes. Thousands of degrees in those ovens.
We'll have to bear it, Watson, until we find Mr. Bennett. He's somewhere in this foundry, I'll wager.
You're right, I see him. There he goes, racing past the furnace, way down the other end there.
Yes, he's climbing a ladder to the catwalk above us.
This way, Holmes. Let's go up after him.
Oh, there you are, Mr. Holmes.
Rodney, are you armed as I suggested?
Yes.
Well, there's Bennett, high on the catwalk. See him? Walking gingerly, like a human fly, along the girder.
Yes, I see him. Come down from there, Bennett. I'm warning you. If you don't come down, I'll shoot.
I'll never come down.
I'm waiting. I'll try to win.
Look, he's staggering. He's falling. He's going to fall into that cauldron of hot metal. You know, Holmes, I do not intend to leave this railway station and board the train for London. In fact, I do not intend to budge from here until you explain why you telegraphed Cairo.
Then I'd better explain, Watson, since I shall desire the pleasure of your company on the return journey. The speck of newspaper was not entirely blank, Watson.
Oh, there was a smudge on it, yes.
Hardly a smudge. The slight marking on it was a Coptic G.
The Coptic G?
The Copts, my dear Watson, are an ancient minority of Muslim Egypt. They've a singular language. And it's a fascinating fact of contemporary journalism that just one newspaper on earth publishes a considerable number of items in Coptic as well as in English. It's a newspaper in Cairo. All that was on the paper we found was the letter G in Coptic. So one could then deduce that the crucial clipping must have come from a newspaper in Cairo.
I see.
I telegraphed a request to repeat the exact wording of any account they'd published recently concerning the Pickering Griswold steelworks.
Oh, I see, Holmes. They telegraphed the contents of the clipping, which must have mentioned Bennett, eh?
Yes. It was a story about the brilliant success of the steelworks based upon the Bennett process. That made Bennett, the sole missing member of the triangle, our most likely culprit. The fact that he'd done away with Pickering made it clear that he would then be after Anne Griswold, which is why we hurried to her home.
Astonishing, Holmes. Astonishing. How you maneuver these men to their doom.
Watson, when a man crosses the border of morality into the alien wasteland of crime, no matter where he roams, he has an inevitable rendezvous at 221B Baker.
Well, Dr. Watson, the shocking adventure of the Knife of Vengeance was certainly cause for admiring Mr. Holmes' resourcefulness.
Well, you'll find even greater cause for marveling at Holmes, just as I did, Mr. Harris, when I relate next week's adventure.
And what is that adventure, Dr. Watson?
Next week, Mr. Harris, I shall relate to you the adventure of the fabulous celebrity. It concerns the killer who terrorized London, an old man who couldn't jump over a stile, and a pair of spotty boots.
The makers of Clipper Craft clothes and more than 1,200 stores from coast to coast have brought you another in the new series of broadcasts featuring the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Our stories are based upon the character Sherlock Holmes, created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and the program is produced and directed by Basil Loughlin. Sherlock Holmes is played by John Stanley. Dr. Watson by George Spelman. The part of Bennett was played by Ted Osborne. This week's story was written by Howard Merrill with special music by Albert Berman. If you don't know your Clipper Craft dealer, write Clipper Craft, 200 Fifth Avenue, New York City. Be sure to listen next week to Sherlock Holmes in The Adventure of the Fabulous Celebrity. Cy Harris speaking for Clipper Craft Clothes. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. Well, this has probably been my least favorite episode, and for a few reasons. The writing really seemed kind of off for a Sherlock Holmes story. We are about halfway through the case before Holmes or anyone who consults Holmes actually comes into the story. So limited time anyway. And then, as soon as Holmes comes on the scene, states what we already know, we go to commercial. And so it's about halfway in that Holmes comes to work. And the solution was not bad, but I would have liked to see more of Holmes actually finding it. And the other thing here, I thought Ted Osborne really overacted this role. Maybe he was, doing kind of, because New York was very common. They had a lot of stage actors. It could be that stage acting was more his forte than the radio, at least when it came to these sort of villainous characters, because he just went way, way, way over the top. But hopefully a better episode next week. Now we turn to listener comments and feedback. David Naylor comments, not a bad adaptation, but the woman apparently showing up in Dr. Watson's study to talk about how much her husband liked the Clippercraft suits was kind of distracting. Definitely one of the more awkward commercial spots. Well, David, I would agree. When it comes to Clippercraft commercials, though, unfortunately, I haven't heard them all, but I'm fairly confident that the worst is yet to come because of one-eyed idiot. Then we also have this comment from Richard, says, wish all the Rathbone Bruce Holmes episodes had been saved, Adam. Such a shame they were destroyed. Well, thanks, Richard. I definitely agree with that wholeheartedly. Now, how many have been destroyed remains a bit of a question. Certainly, there may be some out there that are in that collectors are holding on to, kind of keeping back from the public. That sort of thing does happen in the radio collecting hobby. There was one article on Wikipedia. It claimed that there were 150 episodes secretly in existence. But I didn't give that much credence because, how would somebody updating a Wikipedia article know this? They didn't provide any source or their statement that there were 150 episodes in existence. So I'll keep my eye out for more. Always hopeful. Where there's lost episodes, there's always a potential of found. But I think the 53 we did is probably about the most that's out there in listenable form right now. But thank you so much. I appreciate your comments. All right. Well, that'll do it for this week. Join us tomorrow for yours truly, Johnny Dollar. And then be with us back again next Thursday, another episode of Sherlock Holmes. Well, today's episode is brought to you by the financial support of our listeners. Thank you so much for all of your support. And now it's time for today's episode of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This one is called The Fairway Matter.
For your listening enjoyment, John Lund as
Johnny Dollar.
That plane crash, Johnny. Did you hear?
Yeah, I just turned off my radio.
It's horrible.
Who is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sam Harris, Columbia.
Oh, yeah, sure. Does your company carry the policies in that airline?
Yes, but I'm not thinking of that. That crash was planned.
Oh, they're definite about it now?
Yes, an explosion. Some kind of a bomb. There were 13 people killed in the plane, and they don't know how many in the houses it crashed into. We've got to place responsibility. The company wants to do whatever it can. We've got to find whoever is responsible.
Yeah, sure, Mr. Harris. You want me to go out there?
Yes, we do. The airline representative is a man named Reed. Go out and do everything you can.
Now, for just a moment, what do you say we take time out to talk about star routes? Never heard of them? Well, I don't suppose many of us have, but they exist, all right. Now, those of us who live in cities or in other localities where regular letter carriers drop off our mail probably never wonder how mail is handled in places where almost no one lives, where there's hardly anything and not much reason for going there. But there is someone who thought about it and did something about it. Our Postmaster General. He saw to it that folks who live in these out-of-the-way places receive their mail. Of course, the post office doesn't operate regular mail routes to these places because there isn't enough mail to warrant a regular postman. But the people in isolated spots, such as prospectors in the Nevada mountains, or trappers in the Alaska wilderness, or Louisiana bayous, are entitled to their mail. That's why the Post Office Department has set up a system of contracting responsible agencies to deliver mail to out-of-the-way places. These special mailmen follow what are known as star routes. Deliveries are made usually to mailboxes similar to RFD boxes that stand in the middle of some barren waste or along a rarely traveled river. Star route carriers use cars, horses, mules, rowboats, dog sleds, or airplanes, whatever they need to deliver the mail. Sometimes they even walk. Yes, the job of the star route postman is a rugged one.
And our hats are off to these little publicized employees of our United States Post Office Department.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Columbia All Risk Insurance Company. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Fairway matter. Expense account item 1, $250. Cab fare to the scene of the plane crash, which, as you know, covered quite a bit of territory. The Fairway Airlines plane had taken off at 8:20 p.m., had reached an altitude of no more than 600 feet, and then had crashed, setting 2 houses afire a short distance from the Springfield-Hartford Airport. I got there a little after 9:30. One house had been partially saved, but the other had been completely demolished. The family of 4 living in it had been killed. The parents of 1 child in the first house were not expected to live. And beyond, twisted pieces of the plane were scattered across the field. Fragments still smoking, turned white by the foam from chemical extinguishers. Mr. Reed? Mr. Carl Reed? Mr. Carl Reed?
Hey! Over here!
Please, Mr. Reed. At least don't wait in your car. We'll let you know as soon as we can.
My baby, my baby.
Yes, sir. What did you want? My name is Dollar, the insurance company. Insurance company? Good Lord. This is hardly the time to worry about money, is it? I'm only an investigator. They've hired me to help in any way I can to fix the blame. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Yes. You'll have to excuse me, Mrs. Goodyear. There are some things I have to do. Come along, Mr. Dollar. She doesn't know about the explosion. She thinks there's a chance her daughter wasn't on the plane, but she was. She was the stewardess. You haven't told her? I can let her hope for a couple more hours. Oh, why shouldn't I? I've had to tell so many people. Oh, it's horrible. Horrible. I think even worse than if it had been an accident. When you know it was premeditated, when you know someone planned it, what kind of a person would you have to be to plan something like this? Yeah, it's hard to believe, Mr. Reed. But we have proof. There was an explosion in an extreme aftersection. Destroyed all the control cables to the tail assembly. I don't suppose the civil aeronautics man is here yet, huh? No, but he's on his way. They're sending one of their best, S.W. Nugent. Captain Linhart of the state police is here, though. Oh? I'd like to talk to him, then. Do you have any idea where he is? Well, the last I saw him, he was over there by that... Smith. But see the group of men over by the hangar? Yeah? He might be there. They collected the bodies. Made as many identifications as possible. Look, I know it's bad, Mr. Reed, but don't you go to pieces. That wouldn't help at all. I'll be all right. I'll see you later. Yeah. I remembered Captain Jim Lenhart from a case we'd shared last year, and I found him in the group of silent men. Their silence and their expressions told better than words how they felt about the row of sheet-draped bodies on the ground.
How was Reed making out? I thought he was going to pieces a little while ago.
Well, he's still in pretty bad shape.
He's not alone. But it might have been worse. Plane could have been filled.
Yeah. Well, I guess our approach will be to try to find out which victim was the planned victim.
Well, with what we have now, I don't see any other way to start, do you?
No. The possibilities as I see them are murder with a motive, disguised suicide, or a homicidal maniac.
That must cover it. I have men covering the airport and a 2-mile circle around it. Their orders are to question everybody they spot and search every car. I think that's about all we can do tonight.
Well, I'll see you in the morning, then. It's all right with you?
Sure is. Glad to have you on the case. Meet you in my office at 9. Good. Here's another ambulance. We can get the rest of these poor devils into the morgue and try to find out who they are.
The next morning, the official findings were released. The explosive had been nitroglycerin. It had been detonated by some electrical means, which, it was assumed,
was connected to a timing device that had not yet been found. Captain Lenhart's men had questioned a number of suspicious characters near the airport without result. But Lenhart himself had received an anonymous tip on a possible suspect, a Wilbur Wheeler, who was a member of the ground crew that had serviced the plane just before its takeoff. Wheeler was shown to the captain's office about 40 minutes after I'd gotten there.
Why did you pick me to come up here? Why didn't you get Straker or Mills? They're over me.
It's just routine, Wheeler.
Routine? You must have a reason. I got a right to know if you got a reason, haven't I?
Why do you think we started with you?
Well, I'm asking you, aren't I?
The stewardess who died in that crash, Shirley Goodhue.
I knew her.
We understand that she meant something to you.
Weren't you in love with her?
Yes.
We understand you made quite a pest of yourself, phoning her at home and waiting for her at the airport.
And then a week or so ago, you learned she was going to marry the co-pilot who was killed. What's his name?
Bill Strand. Wasn't it, Wheeler?
Yes. You're saying that you think I caused that crash.
Well, you wanted to know why you were here.
I told you it was just routine, Wheeler. And it would have been if you'd acted differently, but it sounds as though you're trying to hide some facts from it.
I won't anymore. I don't have any reason to.
Well, then why did you?
Well, I don't know. I've been going crazy ever since I heard about it last night. I was still at the field. I got sick, and I had to go home.
We heard about that.
I got home and turned on my radio. Then I heard what caused the crash, the explosion. And I knew that a lot of things I've said and a lot of things I'd done were going to make trouble for me. Even getting sick and coming home was bad.
What were some of the other things?
Well, I said some pretty bad things to Shirley when I heard she was going to marry Strand. And I had a fight with him.
You had a fight with him over the same thing?
I guess for me it was really over that. He ordered me around one day, and I didn't like it. And that's how it started. He beat me up pretty bad. Said he'd have my job. And I told him that I'd see the day his plane with him in it would be plastered all over some hill. I know what it sounds like now, but it didn't mean anything. It was just talk.
It was plenty of that, all right. You heard enough, Dollar?
I think so.
And that's all, Wheeler.
I can go?
Yeah. Nobody'd be stupid enough to compromise himself the way you did and then pull a job like this.
I sure made a lot of mistakes. I know that.
Yeah. Just be around where we can find you if we want to talk anymore.
I can't go back to that airport, sir. I was going to call them and quit, if it's all right with you.
Just be where we can find you, that's all.
I will. I'm sorry.
A lot of people are, Wheeler.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Collins, the man just leaving my office, name is Wheeler. Wilbur Wheeler. Have two of the boys get on him and stay. I'll arrange to relieve them tonight.
Oh?
Yeah, thanks. What do you think?
Well, I'd like to know what's in Wheeler's background. And I'd like to get a psychiatrist's reaction, wouldn't you?
We'll learn about him. Now, let's get on with this list of passengers and see what we can get from their survivors.
We spent the rest of the day in the efforts of 6 more of Captain Lenhart's men preparing files on the 10 dead passengers. One file contained nothing but a name, Rupert Stone. Gotten from the ticket office records as that of a man who had paid cash for space to Augusta, Maine. The Hartford address he'd given was non-existent, and the phone number rang a bakery where no one had ever heard of a Rupert Stone. That one we dropped until the identification of the bodies was complete. Lenhart and I started out to follow up a couple of the others that evening.
This is rotten work.
Yeah, check.
Mrs. Graham?
Yes?
This is Mr. Dollar, and I'm Captain Lenhart of the State Police. We'd like to talk to you about the death of your husband.
No, I have talked too much. It only keeps in my mind the things I saw in that field and the women crying.
We know, Mrs. Graham, but it's our job to fix the responsibility. We only want to ask you a few questions.
You'd want to help find whoever caused all those deaths if you could, wouldn't you?
How can I help?
May we come in?
All right. But only a little while. I haven't slept.
Thank you.
No, Skipper, be quiet. He knows, poor old dog. And very soon he will die. Then I will be alone. Oh, please sit down.
Thank you, Mrs. Graham. Thank you. Mrs. Graham, your husband...
Yes?
He bought space to Boston, didn't he?
Yes. Martin's brother is buried there. Martin was a religious man, and quite often he would go to visit his brother's grave.
I see. I think that's all we needed, wasn't it, Dollar, to recheck his plan?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was all.
Then we better go. We're sorry we had to bother you, Mrs. Graham.
And thanks very much for seeing us.
It's all right.
Thanks very much. Oh, don't bother to get up. You don't have to come to the door with us. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Mrs. Graham.
Quiet, Skipper. He won't come back.
I couldn't cut it. I think that dog did it. Sorry.
Don't apologize to me.
This hasn't happened to me since I was a rookie.
Why don't we have a drink on the way downtown?
No, it suits me. You know Al's on Front Street?
Yeah, that's fine. Any place.
I'll phone in from there and have Collins check me off duty.
Here you are, sir. Oh, your friend didn't leave.
No, he had a phone. Here, I'll catch it.
It's $1.60, sir.
That's good enough. Keep it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, here he comes.
Drink up, Dollar. Guess I'll have to waste mine because it seems I'm not off duty.
What happened?
We're back to that stewardess again. The explosive has been checked to her equipment. Lab men say some twisted metal they found used to be a first aid box and that it was in her flight bag.
Well, that brings Wilbur Wheeler back again, too, huh?
He's being picked up now.
You know, many great men have attained the highest office in our land, the presidency of the United States. Can you guess the name of this man? He was a president of several firsts. He was the first vice president to become president through the death of the chief executive, the first president to be married in office, and the first president against whom impeachment proceedings were introduced. He graduated from William and Mary College at 17, and at 26 was elected to Congress. During his administration, a treaty was signed which opened the door to Oriental trade for the first time. If you don't have his name by now, here's one more important clue. On the last day of his term, he signed a resolution providing for the annexation of Texas. Who was he? John Tyler, 10th President of the United States. His life is part of your American heritage.
And now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
I don't like the idea of being loaded into a police car twice in one day with everybody in the block gawking at me.
A lot of people have been loaded into police cars today. They were glad to come in and do anything they could to help clear this up.
Well, I want to help, too. I didn't mean it that way.
We're glad to hear that. How long have you worked for the Fairway airline?
Oh, about a year and a half, I think.
What'd you do before that?
I want to know why you're asking questions like that. Why did you bring me back here?
Because some new evidence has turned up, that's why.
What does it have to do with me?
It has to do with Shirley Goodhue.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about. I told you everything there was about her and me.
Did you know that she carried a first aid kit aboard the plane last night?
First aid kit? I don't know what you mean.
You don't?
After working there a year and a half?
What did you do on the plane?
Oh, brought food on, checked the water, a few other things.
Things that the stewardess would be involved in. She'd be there with you, wouldn't she?
Yeah, but I don't know what you're driving at. I don't know what you mean.
Where did she put her first aid kit, Wheeler?
Well, why do you ask me that? I don't remember. I didn't notice. They had a place they kept it, but I didn't notice.
Was it open?
I don't know.
What was in it?
Well, if I knew what you meant, I don't know why you're asking me these things.
Look, each stewardess has a kit. They take it off the plane when they leave, and they bring it aboard when they report for work.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The explosive, Wheeler, the nitroglycerin that was hidden in her first aid kit.
Well, I didn't put it there. Well, that's what you mean, but I didn't do it. I don't know anything about it.
13 people in the plane, Wheeler. 4 people in one of the houses that crashed. Probably 2 more in the other.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Wilbur Wheeler was turned over to the police psychiatrist. The web that was tightening around him was only circumstantial. And the question was, did he know that he could keep on saying he hadn't done it, and that we couldn't do anything without physical proof? Or was he innocent? Our last move that night was to go to Wheeler's room. We were looking for a wire that could be checked to that used with the explosive. We didn't find that or anything else that could be a definite help. But a couple of things we didn't find seemed strange.
Hey, he said he came home and turned on his radio. There isn't a radio here. A newspaper's dollar, see any?
No, I don't.
No, there aren't any. Unless he's got them out of sight someplace.
Well, why would he do that? Nope. None in the wastebasket. You'd think a man so close to this would want to find out what the papers were saying, wouldn't you? Guilty or innocent?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Dollar. I'm bushed. Let's drop it for tonight.
The next day, Lenhart and I talked to the psychiatrist, who'd spent a couple of hours with Wheeler. The doctor said that Wheeler was definitely suffering from a severe guilt complex. But whether that meant he had actually committed the crime or had only wished secretly that harm would come to Miss Goodhue wasn't clear yet. In terms of evidence, that meant nothing. The lack of a radio or newspaper in his room, the doctor tossed off as meaning merely that Wheeler was hiding from actuality. As Captain Lenhart put it,
if that doctor thinks he helped my mental condition, he's wrong.
That afternoon, a development came from the Fairway office of Carl Reed. He'd been unable to locate another of his stewardesses. And when finally he'd sent someone to her apartment, she'd been found, shot to death. We met Mr. Reed at the scene of the second crime.
I simply had to get back on the job today. 2 of our flights were delayed yesterday because of my going to pieces.
You better watch it now, Mr. Reed.
I don't know if I...
Now, just take it easy. You tried to phone this girl and tell her to report for one of your flights. And when you sent somebody out here, she was found dead, huh?
Yes, exactly. I hadn't tried to contact Alice before because Well, I knew that she and Miss Goodhue had been close friends and that she must have felt almost responsible for her death.
Why, Mr. Reed?
Why? Well, she was scheduled for the flight the other night. I thought you knew that.
No, we didn't. I wish we had.
But I told you. That night at the scene of the crash. I was talking to her mother, Mrs. Goodhue.
Yes, I remember that. You said she thought there was a chance her daughter wasn't on the plane.
But I told you the other girl was scheduled.
No, Mr. Reed. You made it sound like Mrs. Goodhue thought her daughter was on a different flight. You didn't say anything about another stewardess.
Good Lord.
It's all right, Mr. Reed. The human mind isn't infallible, but it can correct its mistakes. Tell us now.
Well, that's all right. Well, with everything else, I suppose it didn't seem important. I know our procedure is less exact than the regular companies. You see, the girls often traded flights.
When did you find out about this trade?
Well, not until Mrs. Goodhue told me that her daughter had gone to work that night.
You didn't discuss it with her by any chance?
No, I didn't discuss it. Well, night and all of it,
Then I think we'd better go see Mrs. Goodhue, Dollar.
Of course, I'll tell you anything I can.
We've just learned that your daughter wasn't scheduled to be on that plane, Mrs. Goodhue.
Well, no, she wasn't.
We understand that she and Alice Turner exchanged flights quite often. But do you know how it happened the other night?
No. Shirley was here at home and the phone rang.
What time was that, please?
Oh, I hardly remember. We'd had an early dinner and...
The plane took off at 8:25. How long before then?
Well, an hour at least. No, it was less than that because Shirley left in such a hurry.
What did she say?
Well, she said that one of the girls was sick and she was going to take her place on the flight. Just up to Maine and back, she said she'd be home soon after midnight. I've never liked rushed decisions, and I've always worried when Shirley left in a hurry like that.
She did it quite often?
Yes, they all did it. 6 of them live here in Hartford. I never liked it.
Did she trade more often with Alice Turner than with the others? Do you know?
Oh, I don't think so. It was an agreement. If one of them couldn't work, one of the others would fill in.
Then it's possible that Alice Turner called some of the others before she called your daughter.
Yes, it's quite possible.
The horror of the crime led to the solving of it. Late that afternoon, I'd gone back to my apartment building, and in the corridor, just outside my door...
Hey, your name, Dollar?
Yeah. Can I help you?
I want to talk to you. I think we'd better go inside.
Well, I'm pretty busy.
Yes, I know you are, but I want to talk to you about the plane explosion.
Oh. All right. Come on in.
I can't stand it anymore. I read about Alice Turner this afternoon. I just can't stand it, that's all.
What do you know about
Well,
it?
just that all those people killed for nothing, and I'm partly to blame, too, and I'm ready to give myself up.
Well, why did you come to me, then? Why didn't you go to the police?
Oh, you can talk to somebody like you. The police are always brewing the case for the estate.
Okay. They'll get you anyway.
Yeah, but you'll know what I really said, see?
All right, go ahead.
His name is Church. Arthur Church.
Who's Arthur Church?
He's the chief pusher for a bigger narcotics outfit than you ever thought there was.
We've had a few cranks in this case already.
I know crank. What do you mean, Marc? Alice Turner was carrying the stuff for him. She wanted to get out, and Church wouldn't let her. So she got smart and set up a meeting with the federal man the other night. And that's why she was killed, and all the rest of them, too.
Doesn't make sense. If she'd made this date, don't you think the federal authorities would have been in on this?
Well, she didn't tell him who she was or what she did.
How do you know all this?
I'm the one that told her Church was onto her. I told her to drop it. Sure, and not to go. That's my part of it. I told her Church was onto it and that he'd stop her somewhere. I told her to drop it no matter what.
I don't like it. No. Why would she put Shirley Goodhue on the spot?
Alice didn't know what would happen. I did. Who could know that he'd do anything like this?
Well, why did he? If what you say is true, he could have stopped her some other way.
That's my doing, too. I kept her out of sight, you see, and the other night I told her not to do anything, to stay where she was, and not to go to the field, and then she believed me. And then she called Shirley Goodhue and told her she was sick, and that's why she didn't go.
Do you know where the explosive was that wrecked the plane?
Yes, I read today the first aid kit. That's where Alice carried the stuff.
And it was her kit. How did the Goodhue girl get it?
Yeah, because she was called at the last minute, you see, and Alice had her things in a locker at the field. Oh, look, Mr. Dollar, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't telling the truth. It's a peddling rap for me, don't you see? But I've been reading these stories about the people that got killed and the families that are left, and I couldn't take it. I knew the truth, and then when Alice was killed, well, there was no reason for me not telling what I knew.
Are you ready to go to the police?
You heard what I got to say. I'm giving myself up, so...
Do you know where this Arthur Church is?
Yes. He and I live together.
And you'll come with us?
If I have to. Yes. I'll take you up there.
This is it, Moran?
in, then. Tell him who's here.
Just call him naturally.
Art. Oh, Art. Oh, Art. Are you here?
I'm here, yes.
Oh, out of the way. I got him.
Expense account item 2, miscellaneous, $23.45. Expense account total, $25.95. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Welcome back. Well, this is another remake of a John Lunn episode. In this case, The Fairway Matter, no change in title, actually aired on July 7th of 1951 originally. In some ways, I like the Lunn's version better. I think he showed maybe a little more the warmth, emotional depth, those things that really do tend to make that tend to be a feature of the series. Of course, what I don't like is the end. I checked the Who is Johnny Dollar book, and apparently the end of the episode was, if you got confused at all, without any sort of comment, the informant got shot, as did the actual perpetrator. In some ways, this is just an incredibly bad way to take care of your informant. But beyond the ambiguity of the ending, which it also seemed kind of rushed too, because we learned just like less than 5 minutes towards the end of the show that there's this drug smuggling ring going on. It definitely had some realistic emotional impact as you're dealing with a fairly horrendous crime here. And I think it was just handled, that part of it I think was handled expertly. So a very solid episode, and perhaps an improvement on the original right up until the end. And it's been a while since I listened to that, so the end may just have been just as rushed back then. All right, listener comments and feedback. We begin with a voicemail from Richard.
Adam, this is Richard States in Centerville, Utah. Love your show. Got hooked on Dragnet and now it's Great Detectives. Anyway, you were talking about the Johnny Dollar shows and how they're coming up in 15-minute, 5-day-a-week series, how they ran them. And you were talking about running them twice a week. And, you know, you had a couple of other ideas. What about running them daily? In other words, run your regular podcast. You'll have to fill in for the Johnny Dollar day. But run them regularly, like Sherlock Holmes and that day's Johnny Dollar. So they run every day, just like they did back when they first ran. Just a thought. Anyway, love your show again. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for the question, Richard. That's not a bad idea. I thought about doing it. There were a couple of things that kind of ran into a challenge on that. Other than trying to find a show that was just, or combinations of shows, just long enough to cover the period we'd be doing the Johnny Dollar series. The big one is that we have folks who just subscribe to yours truly, Johnny Dollar. And so for them to end up getting every other show anyway, would not, I think, work very well for our listeners. In addition to that, if Johnny Dollar's 15-minute episodes, and you're dealing with a 30-minute show, then kind of the Johnny Dollar seems like almost becomes like an add-on type thing. For clarification, we will actually be doing the show Johnny Dollar 3 times a week. And it'll be Monday, 2 episodes, Wednesday, 2 episodes, and on Friday, and these are 15-minute episodes, and on Friday we'll have 1 episode and then 1 additional 15-minute show, which I guess is another reason why we opted to do it that way, because there's not a real good way, other than playing 2 episodes, which I'm not certain is a great way, to play these 15-minute shows. So we'll have some pretty interesting times with Johnny Dollar and also Dr. Tim, policewoman. And so hope that will work out okay for everybody, but I do appreciate your comment. Well, that will do it for today. Join us here on Sunday as we commemorate the 50th anniversary of the last broadcast of the Golden Age of Radio with those last 2 programs that were done. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, with Mandel Kramer and Suspense. So be sure and listen on Sunday for that. Join us back here on Monday for the adventures of Frank Race. And then on Friday, another adventure with the man with the action-packed expense account, yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Well, today is a very special episode. We commemorate 50th anniversary of September 30th of 1962. That date traditionally marks the end of the golden age of radio. Now, oftentimes, this can be described in a lot of ways. I read one author describe it as the end of radio drama. And other comparisons as well. Radio drama certainly did not end on this day in 1962. In the United States even, you had the Heartbeat Theater and Unshackled from Pacific Garden Missions continue to broadcast. And within a couple years of the end of the golden age of radio, we would have Matthew Slade, Private Investigator, as a syndicated series that would be shared with our armed forces. And then in 1964, we would see the return of network radio drama when ABC produced Theater 5. However, what was coming to an end is worth noting. It was the era of radio greatness. At the zenith of the golden age, radio was a place dominated by legendary personalities, producers, comedians, actors. And then you had the great character actors, the Virginia Greggs, the Harry Bartells, who literally did radio thousands of times, thousands of roles, and crews that were just as proficient at what they did. There have been many radio drama productions since this time, but that level of pure poise and pure professionalism that comes with a lifetime of work simply can't be replicated, although many do outstanding work. Radio did not die overnight. It was probably a period of about 11 years that started in 1951, when radio began to not make as much money as television. That began to drive budgets. The producers and management wanted to spend their money where people were listening, and so you saw bigger budgets for television, smaller budgets of radio. And so there was, in many cases, a decline even in the quality of the programs. Occasionally, you'll have a program, say, from, say, the late 50s or early 60s. You'll listen and you'll wonder, okay, what were they thinking with this particular script? Because they could not afford that same quality of writing. And there was a slow march of programs off the air. as famous Golden Age names began to disappear. 1955 marked the end of new original episodes of Dragnet, though it would continue in reruns for a couple of seasons over radio. The Lux Radio Theater, The Whistler, gone in 1955. In 1956, Lone Ranger was gone. 1957, Our Miss Brooks, The Great Gildersleeve, Gangbusters, David Harding Counterspy, and The Family Theater. 1958 saw the end of X-1. 1959 saw One Man's Family come to an end. 1960 saw the long-running program Ma Perkins end after 23 years on the air, and Have Gun Will Travel. 1961 saw Gunsmoke end. So by the time we reached September the 30th of 1962, there were 2 radio programs remaining that had a connection to radio's zenith, radio's greatness. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and Suspense. I suppose if you had taken a bet in 1953-54 as to what radio program would be around when radio came to an end, I doubt there would be many betting on yours truly, Johnny Dollar. It had, prior to being canceled in September of 1954, a pretty solid run. Well more than 200 episodes broadcast, with 3 separate actors having appeared in the role of Johnny Dollar over the radio, beginning in 1949 with Charles Russell. However, the program, after a year hiatus, returned with Bob Bailey in the lead, and the program became radio's last great detective drama. Bailey continued in the role until 1960. And in December of that year, the decision was made to move Johnny Dollar and Suspense to New York. Bailey elected to stay with his family and not uproot them. And so, New York, Bob Redick took over as Johnny Dollar. And then he later gave away to Mandel Kramer, who in the summer of 1961 became the last actor to play the role of Johnny Dollar. And this is the last episode. This one will not show up in the Johnny Dollar feed just because I don't want to confuse folks who are following it in order. But I can safely play this episode because there's not really any major life-altering plot developments. And it can kind of be listened to in its own context. So here now is the last episode of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. From September 30th, 1960, it's The Tip-Off Matter.
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, this is George Hardy at Northeast Indemnity Association.
Yes, George.
Got a pencil and piece of paper?
Sure.
Then write this down.
Go ahead.
130-07-0583.
Got it. So?
He wants to see you.
Who does?
130-07-0583 at State Prison.
Oh. You know his name, George?
No, but if it's who I think it is, well, Johnny, you just might find yourself going for the commission on $100,000.
The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator,
yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Northeast Indemnity Association, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Tip-Off Matter. Expense account item 1 is $4.60 for a tank full of gas, despite the fact that the state pen is only a few miles south in Wethersfield. a town with a population of about 20,000, where the father of our country once planned the historic Battle of Yorktown. In other words, George Washington slept there. An assistant warden led me not to one of the cell blocks, but to a screened-off corner in a hospital ward. The man who lay there was in his early 30s, but he looked 100, thin, drawn, emaciated, with the pallor of death on his face. It was a full minute before I recognized him as Turner McGackie, up for safecracking, whom I hadn't seen since the day the judge handed out his term some 10 years before.
Pretty funny, huh, Dollar? I'm due to get out. Instead, I lay here dying.
Oh, now, come on. Who told you that, McGackie?
Now, come on, don't you try and kid me too, Dollar. I ain't got long, and I know it. That's why I had him send for you, see. Maybe you can stop a killing, Dollar.
A killing?
From that safe job that got me in here.
That was 10 years ago.
Only they never found the loot from it, did they?
Oh, I see. And you know where it is, Mac?
Look, this ain't easy, Dollar, me telling this, but you're the only one I got any respect for.
Respect for me? Mac, I was partly responsible for putting you here.
Yeah, sure, Dollar. I hated your guts. Then I did. Only yesterday, the warden, he told me about what you've done for Tommy, my kid brother, about the home and foster folks you got for him, about your seeing he'd get educated, like the way that I never did.
He was a nice kid, McGackie.
It's all because of you. The kid has a chance to play it straight, get somewhere.
I think he will, too. He doesn't know about me. He didn't know I was there, Mac.
There?
Yeah. I stood in the crowd and I watched him graduate from high school. With honors. You'd have been proud of him, Mac.
Yeah. Proud. And all on account of you give him what I couldn't never give him.
Tommy deserved a chance like any other kid. That's all.
Yeah, but the way you done it. You're letting them think I'd been killed. Some kind of an accident. You're never letting them know about my record. What I really was. And now he's got no spots on him. He's got nothing to live down to make him ashamed. And all this time I didn't know about what you've done for him. I just kept hating you. But I didn't know.
Look, Mac, that's all water under the bridge now.
So now I'm gonna make up to you, Dollar.
There's no need to, Mac. Look, you're getting tired. I better leave you
but
now.
The loot from that safe job, 100 G's.
Oh?
So, listen. While I can... Listen. Real careful. Real careful, Dollar.
He told me then about Joe Pirelli, an old crony of his. Pirelli, now posing as a fisherman, living in Mac's old cottage on Peconic Bay, Long Island, near the town of Cutchogue. He told me about a safe in the cellar of the cottage, and the fact Pirelli knew only half the combination to it. And the other half? 2 weeks ago, when he'd found out that he was going to die, Mac had given the other half to a crook by the name of Danny Russelloff, who'd pulled the heist with him, who was also there in the pen, who'd not only been a boxman, but a killer. Okay, fine. Except for one thing.
I wouldn't have told Danny. Not if I'd known then about what you'd done for my brother.
Look, Mac.
But now I do know. So it's you that's gonna have that dough.
No, it'll go to the insurance company, Mac.
Look, Danny gets to him first. Danny will kill Pirelli.
Take it easy now. Don't get yourself too excited.
Don't you see, having the whole combination between them? Danny will get the dough. Then he'll kill Pirelli.
Well, look, if you gave me the combination.
Yeah.
All right, then.
You'll give me your word. You'll protect Pirelli. Kind of his keeping that dough for me all this time.
Mac, I'll do what I can for him. But first, while I'm here at the pen, I better get things straight with Danny Russelloff.
No, Dollar. Danny's getting out of here today.
Getting out? You mean they're releasing him?
Yeah. So you gotta go for that dough and now go see Pirelli.
Okay, Mac. Now, the combination of the safe.
Yeah. First it's right. Turn it right.
Yeah.
Number. Dollar, I can't breathe.
Mac.
I'm going, Dollar.
Come on, Mac.
Help me.
Orderly.
Help me.
Nurse, get a doctor in here. By the time the doctor got there, McGackie was dead. I asked the warden about Danny Russelloff then.
Yes, Mr. Dollar, we sent him on his way about an hour ago. And all I can say is good riddance.
Okay. Expense account item 2, $150 for a plane, a charter job. We took off and headed south. How Dick Spidell, the pilot, ever managed to sit down among the sand dunes near Cupchog in semi-darkness, I'll never know. But after a walk of about a mile, I found a gas station. Item 3, $20 for the gas jockey for the use of his stripped-down vintage car.
Sure, man. You just negotiate that next turn left. You see it down there? And then you swing another left on the sandy road you come to, and you stop when you make the bay. It's a beat-up old shack with a wore-out old pier in front of it.
Okay.
Oh, and if you don't see him around or he don't answer when you knock, go on in anyhow. It's probably because old Pirelli's liquored up like he mostly is and has fell asleep.
All right, thanks.
Oh, and just be sure to get my car back here by midnight when I close up, huh?
Right. Mike? Pirelli? Anybody here?
Stop knocking down the door. Come on, open.
Okay. All right, Pirelli, Oh.
Yeah.
You got a gun,
Because I've been waiting for you.
You're a lousy shot, Pirelli.
Okay, Danny, I give up. I give up, Danny.
Danny, huh? That who you were waiting for with this gun? Danny Russelloff?
Yeah, I thought... I read Danny was getting out today. Who are you? Who are you, mister?
My name is Dollar. Now sit down over there by that table.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
I've come to pick up some money, Pirelli, $100,000.
No.
From the safe in your cellar.
No, you got no right to that.
I haven't, huh?
You think I didn't know what's in the safe?
I'm sure you did. And it all better be in it now.
That's Max, though. McGackie.
He's dead, Pirelli. Only a couple of hours ago in the prison hospital.
You're lying.
You want to call him up and check on it?
Dead. McGackie's dead, huh?
That's right.
Oh. Now half of that dough is mine. That's mine, Dollar.
I don't think so.
Oh, no. Dollar, huh? You Johnny Dollar? You're the insurance dick.
That's right. And I'm here to get that money.
Oh, no.
I'm also here for another reason.
Yeah? Like what?
To save your worthless carcass if I can. You don't believe that, huh?
I never trust no cop, and you're a cop.
Look, Pirelli, get one thing straight. Personally, I couldn't care less what happens to you. I've got no use for you. A man with a record like you piled up over the years.
Look, I paid for everything I've done. I served time.
And for holding on to this hot money? My only reason for trying to keep Danny Russell off from killing you is because I promised McGackey I would.
I can take care of myself.
Like you did when I came barging in here?
Okay, so maybe you...
Look, Danny Russell lost the killer, and he's got the other half of that safe combination.
What?
Yes, because McGackey gave it to him when he found out he was going to die. And you think Danny couldn't force your half out of you with a gun in your belly? If you refused to help him open that box? And then when he got the dough, he'd kill you.
No, I still wouldn't tell him my half.
He'd kill you anyway and then blow the safe. That used to be his business. So whatever happens, Pirelli, without me, you end up dead.
Dollar, listen.
Now, look, I know it'll mean breaking my word to McGackey, but if that's the way you want it, all I have to do is just sit on the sidelines, wait for Danny to get here, for the safe to be open one way or another, so you get knocked off, and then move in on Danny.
Okay, but maybe I can get him first.
Sure. Go on. Try it. But if you do get lucky, if you do kill him before he kills you, I promise you one thing, Pirelli. I'll see you end up in the chair. Would you like to think about that for a while? Just don't take too long, though, Because I doubt if Danny's going to waste much time getting down here. And if I'm not around when he does get here? Well, Pirelli?
Okay. What do you want me to do?
Got enough food around here to keep us for a couple of days?
Sure, I got plenty.
All right, then I'm moving in. You got a phone?
No. Only plenty of food and booze.
I can see that. Is there any other way to get here, Pirelli, besides the road that turns off near the gas station?
Not unless somebody try to get here with one of those helicopters.
All right, then from the gas station, I can tell if somebody's heading in here.
Huh?
I'll see you later. Item 4, back at the gas station, out on the highway, $100 even.
$100? Oh, for that, man, I'll ride a bicycle or borrow my sister's car, and you can keep the old crate.
No, Jimmy, I'll only need it for a day or two, I hope.
All the time you want. And is there anything else I can do, Mr. Dollar?
Just let me have a handful of change to throw at this payphone of yours. Item 5, $380 for a call to George Hardy at his home back in Hartford. I gave him the whole story.
Good, Johnny, good. I had a feeling it had to do with that safe-cracking job we had to make good on. Now, how do I contact you down there?
You don't. I'll have to contact you. What are you thinking of?
Well, you said this Danny Russelloff hasn't shown up there yet.
Not yet. Though he's had plenty of time by now.
Maybe Danny's playing it smart now he's on parole.
What do you mean?
Well, he's supposed to report in here in Hartford where he used to live, isn't he?
Probably.
So he'll do that first to give a good impression. Make everybody think he's on the up and up.
Maybe.
And then when he figures nobody's watching him anymore, then he'll make his move, right?
Except that I can't see him wasting any time about getting his hands on the money, or at least making sure it's still here. So, George.
Yes?
Get hold of Pete Larkin.
The private detective?
Yeah, tell him it's for me. Tell him if Danny is there in Hartford to keep an eye on him day and night. And if he leaves town, I want to know it so I can be ready for him.
Okay. And meanwhile, what'll you be doing? Have you called on the police down there?
I don't even know if they have any in this little town. What's more, a couple of cops prowling around would only scare him away, and I want to get him. I'll check back with you 3 or 4 times a day.
Okay. And at least we know where that 100,000 is now.
Do we? Maybe I better get back out to Pirelli and make sure. The safe was still there in Mike Pirelli's cellar, intact. And Mike himself, in the process of getting very, very drunk. But in answer to my question...
Yeah, okay. It's only the last 2 numbers of the combination that I know.
All right, what are they?
It's 2. 2 turns to the right.
2 turns to the right? To what number?
It's 81.
2 turns to the right to 81.
Yeah.
And then?
Hey, listen, Dollar.
And then, Mike?
Then left. Left 14.
Then left to 14.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Hey, listen, Dollar, I'm scared now. You got me scared. Give me the...
Here, go ahead. Help yourself. Maybe enough of that stuff will at least keep you... Hold it. Listen.
Huh?
Hold it.
What?
You hear that?
What? Yeah. There's a car out there.
All right, let me douse these lights. You see it there? You know that car?
No. Yeah, but that's him. That's Danny. Be quiet. He's coming in here to kill me, Dollar. Quiet.
Pulled to a stop, I quietly slipped over to one side of the door and grabbed the knob. I drew my gun and waited. For a long moment, there was no sound out there. Then a car door opening and closing quietly. Then footsteps on the wooden sidewalk. Then as I felt him touch the doorknob, I turned it and swung open the door.
Say, what's the matter, man? What's going on here? Why are you palming that cannon?
Sorry, Jimmy. I was expecting somebody else.
Man, I hope so. Hey, what happened to him, to old Pirelli?
Oh, well, he...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see the jug now.
Mm-hmm.
Falling down drunk again, huh? Oh, but, here, Mr. Dollar. The reason I stopped by is I forgot to give you this key to the trunk of my car in case you need it.
Oh. Okay, Jimmy, thanks.
And, listen, I've been thinking...
Mm-hmm.
Your name is Dollar, huh? Johnny Dollar, that investigator? Man, I think you're the most.
Look, Jimmy, if Johnny Dollar was around here, if he was setting a trap for some crook,
yeah,
and if anybody blabbed about it to anyone, Johnny Dollar might end up very dead. You understand that?
Don't worry. Don't you worry. Just let me know how you make out, will you?
I'll let you know.
Yeah. And thanks. Thanks, Johnny.
Item 6, in the next 3 days, $41 for more telephone calls to George Hardy. Yeah, Danny Russelloff was in Hartford, but sitting tight. Maybe George had been right. But how much longer I could keep old Pirelli under the influence without doing him serious harm began to worry me. And I was afraid that if he got sober, he might turn on me. Then the 4th day.
And listen, Johnny. I mean, mister. As soon as you get through making that call, I want to tell you something.
Yeah, okay, Jimmy, sure.
And I hope you haven't been worried about my telling anybody you're here because I haven't told anyone.
Hello?
George?
Johnny Dollar?
Yeah.
Thank goodness you called. When I got back here from lunch, Pete Larkin, that private eye you had me call.
Yes?
Early this morning, Danny Russelloff got away from him.
He did.
Pete's lost him entirely. So, Johnny, if I were you...
Okay, George.
Now, what I was going to tell you...
Jimmy, I'm sorry. I haven't time now.
But about that other car that started down the road.
What?
Well, yeah, down at Pirelli's place.
When?
Well, about an hour ago. But then it came back to the highway.
Did you get the license?
Well, I didn't get the number. It was Connecticut, though.
All right. And then after he came back to the highway?
Down that way.
I see. Look, Jimmy, is there another road around here that goes to the bay?
Yeah, the old fishing club below Pirelli's place.
Okay. Here.
A sawbuck?
Yeah.
But why? What did I do?
I'll let you know. I started down the road to Pirelli's. But no. Because if it had been Danny, the reason he turned around and come back to the highway was because he'd seen my car there. So instead, I took the road to the fishing club. And there it was, beside the abandoned clubhouse, a rental job with Connecticut plates. Leading away from it were footprints in the sand, leading toward Pirelli's. As I got close to the cottage by crawling on my belly behind the sand dunes, I managed to work my way around to one of the windows. I waited and listened. Not a sound inside. A trap? Maybe so. Maybe Pirelli's still hoping for a crack at the $100,000 and taking a chance at going over to Danny's side. Well, there's only one way to find out. I raised up just enough to look into the room. There on the floor lay Mike Pirelli. Dead. A bullet hole in his forehead. So he hadn't told his half of the combination. That meant there was only one way Danny could get the dough out of that safe now. And the door to the cellar was wide open. Yet if I tried to lift the noisy old window and climb in without some other sound to cover... But Danny himself gave me that. By the time the noise of his nitro job on the safe had died away, I was inside the house and halfway down the cellar steps.
All right, Danny. Raise them up over your head. Huh? Don't move. Get those hands up high.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, mister?
Well, look, you reach for a gun, Danny, and I'll pull the trigger.
Oh, no, you don't. You see this? This bottle, mister? Nitro. It's nitro, and I can throw it even with a slug in me, and you're dead.
I can hit that bottle from here.
Now, back up. Drop the gun.
You try throwing that bottle of nitro, Danny.
Yeah, that's you.
Set it down now, gently. Set it down.
No, I'm throwing it now.
I'd heard of such things, but never before quite believed them possible. But so help me, when I picked myself up on the edge of the wreckage of that cottage, most of my clothes were blown completely off. And yet, by some miracle, I suffered no more than a couple of bruises and a slight headache. As for Danny, well, let's not go into that. He's paid for all his crimes. Expense account total, $349.40. And don't forget my commission. In spite of the fact that a lot of bits and pieces of that money had to be pasted back together. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Can you get premium gasoline performance at regular gasoline price? Find out what so many other car owners have found. In 3 out of 5 cars, regular priced Sinclair Dino gasoline matches performance of premium gasolines, saves you up to 4 cents a gallon. Almost anywhere you see the Sinclair sign, you can save up to 4 cents a gallon with Dino and still get premium performance and mileage. Drive with care and buy Sinclair Dino gasoline. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is written by Jack Johnstone. Produced and directed by Fred Hendrickson. Johnny Dollar is played by Mandel Kramer. Also featured in our cast were Jackson Beck, Joseph Julian, Jack Grimes, Bob Maxwell, and Peter Fernandez. Music supervision by Ethel Huber. Sound patterns by Walter Otto. Tomorrow begins a new week's hilarity with Arthur Godfrey Time on the CBS Radio Network.
Welcome back. Using nitroglycerin in your finale is literally a way to end the show with a bang. Seriously, I thought it was a very appropriate and very exciting way to wrap the show up. The one thing I didn't like at the end is that, it didn't give any indication that that this was the last episode. It was kind of like, okay, we're not telling you to tune in next week, so I think you can take a hint. It's nice also to hear Jackson Beck in this last episode. Jackson Beck, radio legend. One of the few that were based out of New York, along with people like Joan Alexander. Beck, famous for his announcing in the Adventures of Superman radio series, so it's great to see him here. Well, there was one more episode, one more play for the golden age of radio, and that was Suspense. Suspense had a very rich history. Back in the early 1940s, CBS auditioned programs for its listeners in a series called Forecast. One of the episodes in Forecast, July of 1940, was for a series of strange tales called Suspense. And this series was eventually greenlighted by CBS. And the first episode aired on June the 17th of 1942. And the program continued on for a mind-boggling 945 episodes. Most of those still in circulation today. It featured some of the finest actors to ever perform anywhere, including Alan Ladd, Humphrey Bogart, the Edward G. Robinson, And on the list of great actors who have appeared in Suspense goes. They adapted memorable stories, The Moonstone, Othello. Some were kind of detective mysteries. Some were ghost stories. Some were more horror stories. Others were science fiction. He adapted the works of Agatha Christie, John Dixon Carr, and so many others. Suspense at its best was exciting and spine-tingling. It was innovative and definitive. It, too, moved to New York under the constraints of lighter budgets, and that does show up in this last adaptation. This is not a program we would normally play on the Great Detectives of Old-Time Radio. We're playing it in commemoration of this being the 50th anniversary of the last episode. This is a bit of a ghost story / horror story. And so, parents be advised. There's also a cigarette commercial. We go ahead and we leave that in just because it was one of the very last commercials of the Golden Age, and we're kind of trying to recapture that whole experience on that day. All right, well, enough of me talking. Here now, from June the 30th of 1962, is the last episode of Suspense, Devilstone.
And now, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. In a moment, Act One of Devilstone, starring Christopher Carey and Neil Fitzgerald, and written especially for Suspense by Jonathan Bundy. This portion of Suspense is brought to you by the makers of Parliament cigarettes. Listen, more and more people are smoking to this tune every day.
Parliament gives you extra margin. Parliament gives you extra margin. The filter's recessed and made to stay neat and clean. Quarter-inch away, Parliament gives you extra margin. Parliament gives you extra margin. You're smoking neat, you're smoking clean with Parliament today.
My name is Martin, Timothy Martin. I live here in Dublin, and very nicely, too, thanks to a considerable inheritance and sale of the family estate in County Kilkenny, which bought a very good price. I have a comfortable cottage, a faithful manservant by the name of Evetts, and everything else I need to live an easy, contented life, and without the need of applying myself to any sort of labor. Even my financial matters are no bother to me. They're handled by a penny-pinching old solicitor by the name of Ian Carney. And mine was a contented life. Until, that is. Until a long-forgotten uncle died and left me some property he'd owned but never lived on up in County Fermanagh near Inniskillen. A place known as Devilstone. And then... But let me digress for a moment. I should say, let me seem to digress for a moment. And remember this, please. For it may have much to do with the strange, terrifying tale I'm about to tell you. Deep under St. Michael's Church, here in Dublin, is a crypt. It possesses most amazing properties. In it lie scores of bodies in a state of perfect preservation, albeit they are hundreds of years old. The old ones used to say it's due to some wondrous form of black magic. But modern science, modern chemistry, has exploded that ancient belief, has shown that certain gases generated by the unusual composition of the dark, dank earth in which the crypt is located, those gases have produced this amazing phenomenon. Very well. Now, a few days ago, I called Mr. Carney, my solicitor, on the telephone.
I've been hoping you'd call me, Timothy. I wish to speak with you about that house and property in County Fermanagh that your uncle left you.
Well, I've certainly no desire to move away from Dublin, Mr. Carney, so I've decided to rent out the old place.
Rent it out?
And why not, sir?
You really think you can?
Well, I'm quite certain I can.
I doubt it.
Well, as a matter of fact, an American couple by the name of Stoker left here only yesterday for a look at it.
I see.
I expect they'll be back here a moment now to agree to lease it for the summer.
Timothy, you, showed them the pictures and description of the place?
Yesterday morning. They were so intrigued by them, they were all for signing a lease then and there.
You'd better to have taken their money and let them do it, my boy.
Oh?
Aye.
I'm sure I don't see why. Well, surely they're entitled to look at the place over before they take it. After all, Mr. Carney, never having been there myself, there wasn't too much I could tell them about Devilstone.
Exactly as it should be, Timothy.
Well, I'm afraid I don't understand you, sir.
I mean that now, my boy. You will never rent it to them. Nor to anyone else who goes there.
Why not? Now, why'd you say that, Mr. Carney? Well?
You don't know?
Well, of course I don't know.
Then perhaps your tenants, I should say erstwhile prospective tenants, will tell you. If you ever see them again.
Now, what do you mean by... Oh, excuse me a moment, Mr. Carney. Yes, what is it, Evetts?
I beg your pardon, sir, but there's a Mr. Stoker here to see you.
Stoker?
Yes, sir. And if I may say so, he appears to be quite excited about something, rather angry.
Hello?
Shall I tell him you're busy and suggest he see you another time?
Timothy?
Yes?
No, Evetts. Have him come in, please.
Very good, sir.
Hello, Timothy.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Carney, but I have someone here to see me.
No, about Devilstone, Timothy.
I think I'd better call you back.
Very well, if you like. But there is something about Devilstone, its history, that you might not be cognizant of.
All right, well, I'll get back to you shortly.
Timothy!
Goodbye, sir.
Well, at least you didn't try to skip out on me.
Mr. Stoker, how are you? Nice to see you again.
Oh, it is, eh?
Did you and your wife get over to look at Devilstone as you'd planned?
We certainly did. And by heaven, Martin, if this is your idea of some practical joke...
My what?
Sending me alone to that ungodly place would have been bad enough. But my wife... Martin, you ought to be horsewhipped.
No, wait, please.
I'll have you know that as a result of your having let her go there, you and your twisted sense of humor...
What?
What is the matter with you, anyway? The poor woman nearly went out of her mind.
Mr. Stoker,
She still hasn't recovered from it. Sure, I got her back to Dublin all right. But the doctor has ordered her to bed. Had to give her strong sedatives. Now, I warn you, young man, if she doesn't recover completely...
Just a minute, Mr. Stoker.
Oh, don't bother, Martin. The less you say, the less I have to see of you from here on out, the better. Here are the keys to that place.
Now, look here, Mr...
Goodbye, Martin. If I ever see you again, it will be in a court of law.
Believe me, Mr. Stoker, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you so upset about?
Oh, you don't, eh?
Do you mean to say there's something wrong with Devilstone?
And do you mean to say that you, the owner of it, don't know?
We don't know what, sir?
You don't know that ungodly place is haunted?
What?
You heard me. Haunted!
Could I possibly have heard right, sir? Haunted? Was that what he said, Mr. Martin? Haunted?
Yes, that's what he said.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. I beg your pardon, sir, but really, it's too amusing.
Perfectly all right, Evetts. You go right ahead and laugh, and I'll join you. Well, that's about an absurd excuse I've ever heard.
Excuse me, sir. You don't think he meant it?
But the Devilstone is haunted? How could he? Haunted houses went out of fashion 100 years ago. No, Evetts, it was simply a silly excuse for not leasing the place. Well, now that he and his wife have had a look at it. But what an excuse. Or does he think that we Irish are nothing but a lot of stupid, superstitious idiots?
Quite right, sir.
What?
I mean, of course not, sir.
Well, anyhow, it's completely ridiculous. So we'll simply forget it. Forget about the Stokers. Place an advertisement in the papers and find ourselves some other tenants.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we'd best reduce the rate on it a bit. Perhaps that's what scared them off.
No, that could be, sir.
Or who knows? And perhaps Devilstone isn't in as good condition as we've been led to believe. But can you imagine anyone coming up with an excuse so patently absurd, so completely asinine, and so utterly foolish, and expecting us to believe him, to take him seriously?
Yes? What is it, sir?
Evetts, the truth now.
Yes?
Do you believe? Do you think? Possibly. Oh, no. No, of course not. It couldn't be. And yet, could that have been what Mr. Carney was talking about, or at least implying?
Mr. Carney, the solicitor?
Yes.
But Mr. Carney seems to be a man of good sense.
He was so definite about it, though. When he told me I should have let them do what they wanted after they saw the pictures, sign a lease immediately.
Before they even saw Devilstone?
Yes. They would have, you know. They would have signed and paid a couple of months' rent, and Mr. Carney said I was wrong in not letting them do it, in not getting what I could, and immediately.
Would it have been completely ethical now?
You mean if something is wrong with the place?
But haunted, sir.
No, of course not. Ridiculous.
Oh, of course.
And yet, well, there's one way to find out.
Yes. Shall I put in a call to Mr. Carney?
No. By doing that, I'd be admitting that I might believe in such ridiculous possibility. No, Everts. You and I will drive up to Devilstone and we'll investigate ourselves.
Capital, sir. A splendid idea.
You like it, eh?
Well, never having seen the place either of us, and after Mr. Stoker's reaction to it, it might be quite exciting, sir.
Let's see now. If we leave right away, we should be able to reach Devilstone by nightfall.
Yes, sir.
So fetch the car and a couple of flashlights, too.
Very good, sir.
And perhaps I'd better take along a pistol, just in case. And of course...
What, sir?
Well, to conduct our investigation in the ghostly place and style, we'll take along one of the dogs with us. Say, Red Kim of Heatherscote.
An excellent idea, sir.
Now, let's get underway.
Yes, sir.
Well, Everts, if the man at the petrol station told us right, the rambling old mansion you now see before you is Devilstone.
Yes. I see.
Now, what kind of a reaction is that?
Not a gloomy old place, if I may say so, sir.
Now, don't you start conjuring up some ghosts.
Even Kim apparently finds nothing particularly friendly about it.
Now, look, Everts. If you're going to become superstitious about Devilstone...
Oh, no, sir.
Come along, we'll have a look at it. Come along, Kim. Come along, boy. Now, let me see if I can unlock this door.
Yes, sir, here. I'll hold the flash on it for you.
Good. I believe this is the key. Well, the door is already ajar.
Oh, yes, sir. So I see.
Well, come along, you two. Come on, Kim.
He's protesting rather vehemently, sir.
We'll just get him inside and we'll close the door.
Yes, sir.
Kim! What the devil's the matter with you? Oh, come now, boy. Are you a dog or a mouse?
He most certainly is frightened of something, sir.
Yes. He doesn't look like a ghost hunter crouched down there in the corner that way.
And if I remember the pictures correctly, this door here should lead to a small, enclosed court, sir. And my word.
It's just another night bird, Everts. Don't let it bother you. Now, do you mind telling me why did you do that?
I beg your pardon.
What? Why, you're still over there at the door. And yet, I distinctly felt something or someone bump against my shoulder.
And I thought someone walked on past me. Look here, Mr. Martin.
Yes? What is it?
In the mud, out there in the court. Shine your light on it, sir, where mine is.
Why, yes. Footprints. Big ones. And fresh.
And do you see? More of them are being made even as we look at them.
No.
And yet there's no one there to make them.
Impossible.
I know, sir.
But you're right, Evans. You're right. Back inside now, and quickly.
Yes, sir.
Now, whatever is making those footsteps can't follow us.
It does feel a bit safer in here.
No wonder Kim is frightened. There were things like that going on. But why? And how?
Do you suppose, sir, that one of the old lamps could be lighted?
Well, if they have any oil in them. And it shouldn't take us long to find out if they... Oh, now, wait a minute. Now, what are we acting this way for? It's trickery, that's all it is. It's trickery.
But by whom, sir? And why?
Well, that is something we shall have to find out. Now, where is Kim? Oh, there he is, still in the corner.
Sick with fright. Do you suppose, sir?
No, nonsense. Whoever it was that scared Stoker and his wife out of here is trying to scare us now. And I mean to find him out.
But the dog, sir. And if it's true about them and that there is a ghost...
Nonsense. No. We'll just look about here. Where? Now what's the matter?
That door. At the other end.
What?
Behind you. It's opening by itself into a small room beyond.
Good. Then we shall start our investigation in that room. Well, are you coming?
Yes, sir.
Oh, clumsy. Now you dropped your flashlight.
I didn't, sir. I didn't. It was knocked out in my hand.
It what?
Honest it was, sir. I swear it, sir.
Now, Evarts, don't be silly. Go on back in there and get it.
I really rather not, sir, if you don't mind. Oh, the door. It's closed by itself. And now we're locked in.
Oh, we are, eh? Who did this? Who closed this door? Who's there? Who's there, I say?
Same one.
What?
Same thing.
What are you talking about?
The same thing that struck your shoulder, that made the footprints in the mud, and that frightened poor Kim so badly.
And frightened you, too. Well, I say it's trickery. Trickery. It has to be. Who's doing this? Answer me. Answer me.
Your death begun.
What?
Your death begun.
Yes. Yes. I guess we'd better.
Yes, sir.
No. Not a bit of it.
Please, sir. Please, in the name of heaven, sir.
No. We're going to stay right here, Evarts, until we find out.
Your death begun.
No. Not until we learn just what's going on and... Where's that voice coming from?
I've tried to warn you.
Oh, please, sir.
They've tried to scare us, that's all. Tried to scare us.
Yes.
Yes.
So that you'd leave this place.
Why?
Because if you do not, you will suffer the same fate as the dog.
Kim? Fate? What are you talking about?
Look, sir. The door is opening.
Yes, look. In the light of the flash that was dropped in there.
Kim! Evarts. Kim is dead.
Then, Mr. Martin... Oh, please, sir, I beg of you.
Who did this? Who did this? Show yourself.
Yes, I will show myself. Look.
What? Oh, look, sir, out of thin air.
Yes, I see him.
Mr. Martin.
Yes. All right, we'll leave. Come along, Evarts. Come on. Yes, Mr. Carney. I thought at first it was trickery, or perhaps some kind of joint hallucination by Evarts and myself, induced perhaps by the gloomy atmosphere of the old house, and whatever it was that Stoker had said about his wife and her being so terrified.
No, my boy.
But when it actually happened, he actually appeared there before us out of thin air, this misty, tenuous, impalpable figure. And then when we found there wasn't so much as a little mark on Kim, the dog, who up to that moment had been as healthy as I. But why didn't you tell me about whatever it is in that inhabits that place when I talked to you on the phone?
I tried to, Timothy, but you cut me off. And after all, I'd known about it only as a legend from hearsay.
And he was a huge man and powerful, this ghost.
Yes, I should say it was Jason O'Flynn, your ancestor, who built the place for his wife. It was to have been her castle.
Was?
Yes. But the first day she sought to enter into it, she fell, tripped upon the threshold, she struck her head, and she never regained consciousness. I see. The doctor was summoned, did all he could for her. There in a smaller room off the main salon.
Yes?
But she died that night. And then Jason O'Flynn swore by the book that no one would live in that house but he, until his body turned to dust. He walked out of that little room then and was never seen again. And ever since that time... But now you know the rest.
Wait.
Yes?
Until his body turns to dust.
His own words.
And he wasn't seen to leave.
No. What are you thinking of, Timothy?
I'm going back there, Mr. Carney, tomorrow in daylight. I just don't get it.
I certainly found no signs of hollow walls or hidden panels on the floors above, sir.
And yet, Everett, somewhere close to that small room.
Don't you think it best we simply leave the place and...
No. No one but he.
What?
Until his body turned to dust.
What, sir?
And although there must have been other people about, he wasn't seen to leave. And to me, Everett, that means only one thing. Somewhere in this house lies the key to this mystery.
But we've been here most of the day, sir, and we've found nothing. And it's getting on towards dusk.
I know. But until I find some...
Oh, sorry, sir. Let me help you. Old rug was so badly wrinkled, it's no wonder you tripped.
Wait. Everett, listen.
A very hollow floor, I should say.
Here, help me fold this rug back.
Yes, sir.
Here now. And look, a sort of trapdoor, and fitted in the floor so tightly.
Yes.
And this, it looks like a seal around the edge.
Why, yes, sir. And a heavy lifting ring.
Well, then give me a hand. We'll see if we can raise it. Now.
Oh, it's very tight, sir.
Yes. But the seal is giving way a little. Put everything you have into it now. Good. We made it.
Must be fetid horrid odor coming up out of that place.
Yes, Everett. Like that in the caves, or the catacombs under St. Michael's.
You mean where all the bodies and...
Yes, quickly now. The flashlight, give it to me.
Here, sir.
Now, look down there on the earthen floor below. Do you see? The wrists are cut. He killed himself.
No, it's he. It's the ghost that we saw.
Yes, Everett. The body of Jason O'Flynn. And so perfectly preserved as though he died only moments ago.
Oh, it's horrid.
Until his body turned to dust, he said.
So we know now that we've found it. So please, sir, let's leave this place.
Wait, Everett. Wait. Do you see? Now the fresh air has reached it.
Oh, good Lord.
Yes. The color is leaving the cheeks. The pallor of death is taking its place. And yes, now, at long last, the body will turn to dust. No longer will Jason O'Flynn walk the night. Requiescat in pace.
Suspense. You've been listening to Devilstone, starring Christopher Carey and Neil Fitzgerald, and written especially for Suspense by Jonathan Bundy. Suspense is produced and directed by Fred Hendrickson. Heard in tonight's story were Gilbert Mack, Walter Grisey, Reynold Osborne, and Frank Milano. Music supervision by Ethel Huber. Sound patterns by Walter Otto. Technical direction by Fred Cusick. Associate Director, Bernie Seabrooks. This is Stuart Metz speaking. Every weekday evening, Chris Schenkel is anchorman for a globe-girdling roundup of first-hand reports on sports activities everywhere. Make this your address for worldwide sports every weeknight. He who laughs oftenest hears Arthur Godfrey Time weekdays on the CBS Radio Network.
Welcome back. Well, I think Johnny Dollar ended on a strong note. Suspense, not so much. This episode was written under the name Jonathan Bundy. It was actually a pen name for Jack Johnstone, and he had a few of those. Really, even for this type of story, it seemed a little bit weak on the conclusion. But there it is, the last episode of Suspense. And again, the somewhat remarkable thing about this is there's no sort of thank you so much for listening to us for the past 20 years. Just listen to Arthur Godfrey tomorrow, and if you tune in and you don't hear us there next week, well, surprise, we just aren't going to be there, and not going to bother to mention it. I definitely am a bit of a sucker for the memorable season finale that ties everything together and answers all of our questions. But I do think that there was a reason that they were just not into it during the Golden Era. I think there was a sense of just simply ending a program with dignity, taking the last bow, and moving on to the next thing. Perhaps that comes from the tradition and ancestry in the stage. Well, listener comments and feedback, I let folks know I was going to be doing this special, and I asked for comments, and so I'm going to share some of these. Karen says, I've been listening to old-time radio since I was 12, and I'm 47 now. The first shows I remember listening to were Suspense and yours truly, Johnny Dollar. I love them, and many, many more to this day. Thank you for bringing a smile to my face every day. And Andrew says, I've only listened to about 15 episodes of Johnny Dollar so far. I don't think I'll have caught up by then. And Michael comments, this was truly the end of the era. Jeremy Light says, Johnny Dollar was the first old-time radio show I picked up and started listening to several years ago. And David says, Johnny Dollar was my first radio show dating back to when I was a child traveling from military base to military base with my family. Love the show, clearly especially the Bob Bailey episodes. But really, what a clever, charming program. And I think this episode, last episode of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, kind of illustrated that charm. There was definitely an emotional connection in the writing in that first scene with the convict talking to Johnny Dollar. And just the overall reaction. Even, I think hanging on to some old school feelings and sentiment, even as they move forward into the 1960s with that little bit of a beat going on in the background. And Christy says, Johnny Dollar is my favorite old-time radio show. I especially like the 5-part episodes with Bob Bailey. I only recently found your podcast and have started listening to the series before. I know I won't be caught up by September 30th, but that's okay. It's a podcast, and I can download it and listen to it at my leisure. Thanks for sharing. Well, thank you so much, and I hope that those of you who do download this, whether you download it on September 30th or at some later date, appreciate this look back. And that will actually do it for today. Join us back here tomorrow for the adventures of Frank Race. And in the meantime, send your comments to box13 at greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives and call us 208-991-4783. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off. Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.